8 months after his alleged meeting with the Burmese executives. So this Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese. A real beautiful company. No good, really bad for you. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No.
Good news is, for me, I'm here. The bad news for you is, I'm coming back.
Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Yo, the camera's not on yet because I forgot to put it up. I'm so sorry. I know, I'm a piece of shit. Right? Like, this is a really, like, poorly produced fucking podcast, you know? Like, there's so many fucking better podcasts out there and you choose this? Like, what? You must be reaching to the bottom of the barrel on today's episode. So, I got some stuff, you know. I got some stuff. Let me get the chat open. Hello, S31 Cow. Hello, Bodan. Hello, WT Serves. Perhaps they just uploaded your notification, took a couple of toggles from your channel page to see to the stream, and no notification currently sent. Same thing the big boys complain of. Alright, thank you for that update. But yeah, I do this show every day at 10 a.m., so whatever time it is, I'm live at this point. Every single day, 7 days a week, 10 a.m., at least until the election. If the election happens, I might maybe only make it a Monday through Friday show, or like maybe I'll do like Saturday through Thursday or something, like, you know, something like that to shake it up a little bit, right? Because everyone does Monday through Friday, right? Everyone's like, oh, I work from home, but I'm going to follow a normal work schedule. It's like, what? What? No. If you work from home, you follow the opposite schedule. You should be doing like Saturday through Wednesday or some shit, right? But you're not. So if the election happens, right, you know, I don't know. We'll see. At least until the election, I'm doing 7 days a week. But maybe we'll talk about a potential Saturday through Thursday schedule at some point. Maybe. We'll see though. Whatever. Maybe a Friday through Wednesday. Or Tuesday, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'll just stick doing 7 days a week. I don't know. It's only an hour. I got nothing better to do. Anyway, welcome to Above It All, everybody, for October 21st, 2020. I spent my entire morning arguing with dullards on Twitter, so definitely spent my time valuably. and with maximum efficacy and efficiency and all forms of Cs. Yeah, so that's what I did. And I feel a lot better as a result. You know, arguing with dullards is always something that I have a lot of fun with. But yeah, so hello, Mr. Freak Glitcher. Welcome to the broadcast. So I got a few things lined up for today's episodic installation, and let's get right onto this. Let's just get right onto this. So, I just want to say this is from Engadget, but it doesn't matter because I'm not going to read the article. I just want something on screen. AOC's Among Us Twitch stream peaked at over 435,000 viewers. So, I'm going to have a little bit of a controversial opinion on this. I'm going to have a hot take, to be honest with you. Now, okay, so I'm going to have a little bit of a hot take, okay? Now, I do think that this is great. Gamers in Congress love to see it, right? Let me find that Ilhan Omar picture. There was such a good Ilhan Omar picture of her last night. Yes, here it is. Of her last night as well. Ilhan Omar was in there. And I don't know, I thought that this was such a good picture. Like, it's just, like, she's in, like, some bizarre campaign room with a computer, like, in a closet somewhere. Like, I don't know, what the fuck, right? It's just adorable. It's adorable. But, yes, so gamers in Congress, right? What does that mean? That means a lot of good things. There's a lot of young people that play video games. Seeing someone like AOC or hell Ilhan Omar, you know, get on there and play video games. Now, I don't know shit about Among Us. I'll be honest. My family plays Among Us sometimes, and they tell me to play, and I say no because I'm a fucking Scrooge and I don't like playing video games, right? I have a video game channel on YouTube, and I don't even like playing video games. I know, that's how far gone I am. But, so this is a big deal, I think. At least it's potentially a big deal. Now imagine if like AOC and Ilhan, like in the squad or whatever, did gaming streams like every day at 9 p.m. Like imagine the kind of like snowball effect you could get from that situation. Right? I don't know. Like just like the idea you could do like so many different fundraisers. There's a lot of material here that you can work with, right? Because people love video game streams. I don't know why. I haven't been on Twitch in several years. I don't know what's going on there. If you're gonna stream, it might have made more sense to stream off of Twitch. You know, Twitch is owned by Amazon. You don't want to get goobered, right? You don't want to get goobered. But I don't know. My thing is, if you can orchestrate 500,000 people in one web page, I feel like there's a lot more that could be done. And so, like, I hope that this is like the beginning of something. I hope that there's like something else coming up and this wasn't a one-off. Because I really love the idea of gamers in Congress, right? Because, like, one of the frequent things is, like, that, like, you know, right-wingers are, like, somehow, like, they're very sapped in culture, and they're very like, you know, like I love the culture of my people kind of a thing, right? And they always say like leftists are boring and they're Scrooges, and in a lot of capacities sometimes that may be true. But when you've got AOC, right, doing that webcam thing, playing fucking video games on Twitch, I don't know, that's extremely popular. And I think there's no proper understanding in any communities, I think, gaming community, political community, like, of how popular this is. Like, this is something that, like, 10-year-olds will see and will shape the future of, like, how they start, like, looking into the world. Like, this is, like, a really big deal. If I were 10 years old and there was some, like, really cool, funny congresswoman playing video games online that I could watch, I feel like the trajectory of my life might be a lot different, like, honestly. And that's the thing here. Like, it's just, I don't know. I love it. As a video gamer, I might hate video games, but as a video gamer, I think that this is really cool. And I didn't watch a single bit of it. I'm going to be honest. I didn't watch a single fucking bit. I know Hassan was on there. I like Hassan. He's hot. He's cool. He has good takes sometimes, right? I don't know anyone else that was on there. I don't give a shit. I don't like games. I don't like gamers. I play fucking PS1 games. I play shit like Muppet Race Mania. You think I'm going to be playing phone games or whatever the fuck Among Us is? I play PS1 games, motherfucker. You think I'm playing that shit? I ain't playing that shit. Anyway, that's the news of AOC on Twitch. I thought it was cool. I thought it was rad, and I am endorsing that behavior. And if that becomes a more regular thing, I'll endorse it again. I missed out. It was fun. I mean, it might be fun. If AOC started playing PS1 games, yo, legit, if AOC started playing PS1 games, man, let me just tell you, if Ilhan Omar started playing PS1 games more like, I gotta find, like, I'm sure there's, like, a Japanese PS1 Gundam game. And, like, one of these days, like, 5 years from now, like, when COVID's over, I'm gonna go to a rally with Ilhan, and I'm just gonna give her the Gundam game. There's gotta be one. Is there a I'm gonna look this up. This is live. There's got to be, right? There is! Yo, there is. Yo, we're good. There is. We're fucking good. Alright, awesome. That's the goal, everyone. You heard it here first. That is my 5-year plan. Fuck going to college. Fuck getting a career. I'm going to give a Gundam PS1 game to Ilhan Omar at a rally at some point when COVID is over. That's the 5-year plan. Thank you. But yeah, I thought that's cool. Battle Assault, I think that's what it's called. I just looked it up. I'm not a huge Gundam fan, to be honest with you. The Gundam the Battle Master is what it's called. Seems to be a... It seems to be a North American game. I'd never seen a Gundam in North America. But... No, it is actually Japanese only. Okay. It just, it does that thing where the cover is in English. I love when Japanese games have the cover in English. Thank you for that. But no, it is a Japanese game, it seems. But yeah, better than Stalin's 5-year plans, that's for sure. That's actually absolutely correct. Holy mackerel. But yeah, so... Yeah, I mean, I had a little bit of fun on Twitter, and I got a bunch of dullards. And I kind of want to talk about it, but, like, I don't. But I'm going to, like, in the middle of the show, make fun of some dullards. But I don't want to bring any attention to it, because, like, I don't know, man. I don't. But yes, hello, Aitor Vicenti, also known as Mega Magikarp, also known as Bats, also known as why the fuck do you have so many usernames? But that's neither here nor there. So this is a story I didn't finish reading, but I'm just gonna like throw it out there. So yeah, this is a story I didn't finish reading, but I'm just gonna throw this out there because that's what lefties do. We love peddling the fake news media. This is from the New York Times. I love this image of Donald Trump with like the fucking little thing, right? That's so relatable, to be honest. Like, look at my fucking thing. Like, look at this, right? Donald Trump's got like his little thing with the random ass bends in it. Like, why does it bend that way? Right? Like, look at my, like, look at this. How does that happen? Like, whenever I see this kind of stuff, whenever I see wires and cords, right? Like, I start, like, starting to believe, like, the earth is flat or something. Like, because, like, my entire concept of physics and how the world works just shatters whenever I see this shit. Like, seriously? Like, what is this? Like, how does this happen? Does anyone know? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So apparently Trump was trying to do business in China for the past 10 years, and that was found out in these tax returns that New York Times, and apparently only New York Times has access to. I'm not entirely sure what that situation is, but whatever. President Trump and his allies have tried to paint the Democratic nominee Joseph Robinette Biden II as soft on China, in part by pointing to his son's business dealings there. Senate Republicans produced a report asserting, among other things, that Mr. Biden's son, Hunter, I don't know, Bo, I know Hunter, opened a bank account with a Chinese businessman, part of what it said were his numerous connections to foreign nationals and foreign governments across the globe. But Mr. Trump's own business history is filled with overseas financial deals, and some have involved the Chinese state. He spent a decade unsuccessfully pursuing projects in China, operating inaugurating an office there during his first run for president and forging a partnership with a major government-controlled company. And it turns out China is one of only three foreign nations, the others are Britain and Ireland, where Mr. Trump maintains a bank account. According to an analysis of the president's tax records, which were obtained by the New York Times, the foreign accounts do not show up on Mr. Trump's political financial disclosures, where he must list personal assets, because they are held under corporate names. The identities of the financial institutions are not clear. The Chinese account is controlled by Trump International Hotels Management, LLC, which the tax records show paid $188,561 in taxes in China while pursuing licensing deals there from 2013 to 2015. Now, let me get this straight. Did Donald Trump pay more money in taxes to the Chinese government than to the United States government? Is that possible? Like, again, I didn't read this much, like I just kind of skimmed this before the show because I was arguing on Twitter instead. He paid more money to the Chinese government than to the United States government. This reminds me, I just had a debate yesterday. Right, hard air quotes on that one. I just had a debate yesterday with a fucking Trumper. And like half the debate was him saying that he wants Trump to like nuke China or something. And I just like the idea of like someone hardcore Trump supporters like, yeah, we gotta take out China, we gotta get rid of China, and then the day after that like bizarre debate, this story drops of Trump having paid more taxes to China than he did in the United States. I love it, dude. It's great. You love to see it. Now, you can read this full article yourself. In response to questions from the Times, Alan Garton, a lawyer for the Trump Organization, said the company had opened an account with a Chinese bank having offices in the United States in order to pay the local taxes associated with the efforts to do business there. He said the company had opened the account after establishing an office in China to explore the potential for hotel deals. I love hotel deals. Yes, let's go to the Trump Hotel in fucking Southeast Asia. That sounds like a great idea. Fucking ridiculous. But yeah, read this whole article yourself. There's a lot more goodies here, I'm sure. But like again, I just love the idea that Donald Trump is just secretly just like, right? Like, he's just such a fraud. And that's the thing, right? Like, he's such a fucking fraud. But his supporters, and that's the beauty of it, the people that support a fraud are dumb as hell. And you can convince them of anything. That's the coalition of Donald Trump. You have the fascists that don't care how much of a fraud he is. They just want to support him because they think that he's going to like puff up the concentration camps or start a race war, right? Those guys, they can go either way. They're not necessarily addicted to Trump, right? I've debated a few of these people. They say, Trump's the lesser of two evils. Yeah, I want to kill all non-white people, and you know, Biden's a little iffy on that. Trump hates black people, so it's obviously lesser of two evils, right? But then you've got the dullards, right? The real dumb motherfuckers out there, like the semi-conservative, like maybe they're religious, you know, evangelicals or fundamentalists, right? You got those dumb motherfuckers out there, right, that see Donald Trump as like, he's a businessman, he's so smart, like the person at the town hall that was like, you're so handsome when you smile, right? Now that person later like was, you know, found out not to be a Trump supporter, but that same mentality goes. Like, I've seen people like Trumper, like, you know, like at the Trump rallies, where like Status Quo has a lot of these good actual, where they go to Trump rallies and interview people, so I highly recommend looking at those if you're interested. And there's a lot of people out there that are just like, yeah, I didn't know that, but you know, I'm sure Trump has an explanation for it. And that's how they get, like, if you say anything to these people, that's their response. Well, I didn't know anything about that, but I'm sure Trump had a good reason to be doing that, so I still wave my flag, Trump 2020. It's like, these people are dullards. They're dumb as shit. So, like, that's the thing. It's like, it doesn't really matter what comes out at this point. They're dumb. We live in a post-truth era. Anyone can believe anything they want. You know, the whole idea of everyone is able to have an opinion, all views matter, right? Literally, the sky is orange, you know, my skin color is rainbow, and this is filled with liquid nitrogen, right? Why not? What the fuck? Why not? Are you going to tell me I'm wrong? Are you going to tell me I'm wrong? Well, I've got a good reason for believing the things that I believe, so it's okay. Are you going to tell me I'm wrong? What? All views matter. Come on. Again, they're just so stupid. And when I post this video on YouTube, right, you're going to see, like, scroll down. Give it, like, 12 hours. Like, if you're watching this video ASAP, bookmark it, come back in, like, 12, 24 hours, right? And look at the people that comment on this video. And think to yourself, like, how do I make sure that I never go as far down the rabbit hole of being a fucking idiot as these dumb motherfuckers? Because they're going to be here, right? Just scroll on down. You're going to get dumb motherfuckers like Primitive Archer, whom I debated yesterday, saying like, well, you know, Trump still wants to nuke China more than Biden, so therefore, they're so stupid. They're so dumb. It's ridiculous. But that's Trump's coalition. Fascists that want to kill everyone, and those that are dumb enough to think, oh, well, he's orange, so must be good. It's ridiculous. Oh God, it's so stupid. So stupid. So stupid. So stupid. Whew. Jesus. AOC playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. Oh my God. Would love to see it. What does my shirt say? Toy Story? You voted yesterday? Congratulations, Mr. Cyrus. I'm happy for you. Evangelicals are big Trump cultists. Yeah, totally. Christian Zionists. Oh yeah, those guys are fucking nutso. They're crazy, man. They're absolutely nutso. It's fucking nuts. Ooh, Nelly. Anyway, hopefully y'all are enjoying today's episode. I am. I didn't have my coffee today. I just, I've been taking a little bit of time off of caffeine. I am Sudan. What does that mean? I am clueless. Andrea is clueless on debate and just runs her mouth. Is that English? Is that an English language sentence? What? Andrea is clueless on debate. Whenever I read stuff like this that is just clearly just incomprehensible garbage, right? I always feel like it's like some sort of like secret like soliloquy or something, right? Or like some like a riddle of some kind, like someone speaking in tongues to be able to give off like a profound message. Andrea is clueless on debate. Like, what? What? Is that English? I don't think so. Hot scoop, Republicans starting investigation into Biden using Amtrak on his... Amtrak Joe. Amtrak Joe. I can't debate, so I just run my mouth on one topic. I don't know what that means. Are you referring to yesterday, I Am Sudan? Because we talked about like 10 or 15 different topics. So... I'm guessing you're just doing that whole edgelord thing that you do. It's like, haha, I'm a leftist. I want to murder everyone who I disagree with, and I think that we should kill a bunch of people. Ha ha ha. I also love to post edgy garbage in YouTube chat rooms, but I'm totally a leftist. In fact, I'm leftier than you. The fact that I am such a displeasurable person to be around and that I have no friends and no one likes me and I have no sense of humor is actually what makes me further to the left of you, and that's how I build a winning coalition. Like, okay, bud, sure. Hello, a frog. When am I going to do a Doom run? Very soon, I promise you. Very, very soon. Very, very soon. I don't know. I just love the idea of, like, people, like... It's like, oh, yeah, no, I'm a leftist. But, like, I don't know anything about the core tenets of socialism. And I'm a Scrooge. And no one likes me. And, like, I'm very, very insufferable to speak to. But I'm totally a leftist, guys. Totally, right? Totally. Like, hello, D. I'm so left, I vote no on everything and everyone and their opinions. Yeah, no, I'm a super leftist. I'm super left. You remember when Donald Trump at the debate was like, you keep saying super predator. Even though Biden never said that, I'm pretty sure that was a Hillary Clinton thing. But he, crossed the synapses, made a mistake, right? But he kept emphasizing super, right? Yeah, super predator. These guys are super leftists. They're fucking super leftists. They're so left it'll make your head spin. Like, I run Marx and I choose not to have friends. I'm sorry, you're like, I am Sudan. Step number one, if you want to be a leftist, step number one, get a sense of humor and be a fun person to be around. That is step number 1 and 2, I suppose. If you are not fun to be around, no one will give a fuck about what you have to think or what you have to say. And that is why Trump supporters are so ostracized. I almost said oscillated. But that's why Trump supporters are so ostracized, is because all they do is talk about stupid conspiracy theories and QAnon, and people are like, ugh, and they don't want to be around them. Like, when Trumpers go on Facebook, my family disowned me for supporting. No, their family didn't disown them for supporting for supporting Trump. Their family disowned them for being an insufferable antisocial freak, right? And you cannot have any sort of agenda that relies on cooperation if you're an antisocial freak. I'm sorry, I am Sudan. I'm sorry. A core, fundamental core philosophy of socialism is socializing. It's in the fucking name! Socializing! If you are a social reject and you hate people, you cannot be a successful socialist. I'm sorry. You just can't. Socialism is a state of mind. It's not a fucking how you answer policy quizzes online when you do the 4 fucking compass thing, right? That's not socialism. Socialism is a state of mind, buddy. Big brain. How do I feel about the Doom remakes? I think Doom 4 is trash and I haven't played Doom 5. So, those are my opinions. Maybe... Okay, I'm just throwing this out there. Should I play Doom 4 for Halloween? I'm just throwing this out there. Just throwing this out there. Just as an idea. Give me a yes, give me a no. Throwing this out there. I am Sudan. You can be lonely. That's fine. You can be lonely. But you cannot be an insufferable piece of garbage to be around. At least you cannot be if you have any idea of, building a left coalition. Right? You cannot be an insufferable piece of garbage to be around. For example, I'm a pretty lonely person, right? I have maybe a couple people I talk to on a regular basis. Now, does that mean I'm an antisocial freak who's going to ignore everyone when they talk to me? No. But does that mean I don't like my alone time? I love my alone time. In fact, I love my alone time so much, it's probably a detriment to the people whom I like to talk to. They probably would like to talk to me more, but I'm such a freak that I like being alone. But I'm still not going to go in YouTube chat rooms and troll people. It's just weird, right? It's just weird. I wouldn't mind it, but I'd prefer if you could play... I don't have Eternal. So, someone would have to buy that for me. I'm sorry. I'm so out of date, but as I said, Doom 3 opened up too dark for me. Oh my god, I love Doom 3. Hello, Icky? Socialism is working class and power, not a state of... Skeptical Mantis. This applies to you too, by the way. Skeptical Mantis. How do we get working class in power if you're a fucking Scrooge and all you do is say, do you want to play Trivial Pursuit about Joe Biden in a YouTube chat? That's not how you get socialism, right? If everyone is a Scrooge and hates each other, how are we going to have working class unity? How are we going to unify 80% of the country when we all hate each other for, an election vote or we troll YouTube chats? That's the point. To achieve socialism, we must have a socialist state of mind. We must have a sense of humor. We must be personable. We must be charismatic. We must be interested in what other people have to say. That is how you achieve socialism. I'm sorry. That is how you achieve socialism. And I'm just gonna go off on that. That's where we're at. That's my opinion. Let's move on to the next subject. No, Skeptical Mantis. I'm mostly talking about I Am Sudan. But I'm just throwing you in here. I'm throwing you under the bus. Guilt by association. Throwing you under the bus. I'm sorry, bud. But I'm mostly yelling at I Am Sedan. If you buy Doom Eternal for me, will I play it from start till the end? Get back to me on that. Give me 24 hours to think about it, Bodan. Give me 24 hours to think about it. Hey, Skeletino. Alright, let's talk about Gab. So, there's a story here that dropped in the Daily Beast. White supremacists had lists of feds to kill and dox unsealed file. This is something that came out. I believe this actually came out today, right? So, just, I know what Gab is. I remember when Gab first started. Now, you might be wondering, what the hell is Gab? Let me just tell you, right? So, Gab used to be a Twitter clone. Because you know how Twitter censors right-wingers? Yeah, right-wingers are so upset that they can't just say, I want to kill X people on the internet and get away with it. They're so triggered, they made their own website. Okay? They made their own website. And that website was Gab. I actually had a Gab account. I don't know if it still works because they did this re-update thing. The website was garbage. It never worked. It was terrible. Yes, Skeletino in the chat. This is the Gab logo right here. The website was awful, and then like a couple years into the website, they destroyed the whole website and made a Mastodon instance. Now, Mastodon is actually like a leftist Twitter, where you can make your own, like, it's kind of like Discord in a way. You can make your own server. They're called instances, and then people can join those instances, and it's like it's a Twitterverse in that instance. So what they did was they scrapped their own website and made a Mastodon instance, which I thought was hilarious. And then every other Mastodon instance, right, because there's like the group federalized instances, so everything you post can be on like the full thing, where every instance you have like one timeline. So every instance of Mastodon collectively and unanimously voted to ban Gab from showing up in the federated timeline, which I thought was fucking hilarious, man. I thought that was extremely fucking funny. So there's a little bit of context for you. Gab is just where the white supremacists went to go post their white supremacist garbled shit when Twitter started banning them a little bit more. So there's your context. Now let's read the story. When members of a white supremacist street fighting gang caught charges for their participation in a deadly riot, fellow travelers on the website Gab had a suggestion: dox the U.S. officials involved in the case. Or maybe just kill them. A newly unsealed search application from October 2018 reveals that feds were interested in threats made to federal law enforcement on the extremist-friendly social network. Now, one thing I want to say is I used to post on Gab and say things like, I support Bernie Sanders for president, or it's like, I am transgender, ask me anything. I remember I posted, I'm transgender, ask me anything. And I'm not even going to joke. I'm not even joking to you. Like, this isn't hyperbole. I literally got like 5,000 replies. And sometimes, when someone says 5,000, they really mean like 3,653. No, I literally mean like it was at least 5,000. It could have been more, but I stopped checking. The last time I saw it, it was like around 5,000. I got so many replies of people, and I didn't read them all. Of course, I can't read them all. But every once in a while, I'd look at the replies, and it'd be like, you should fucking kill yourself. You should die. I'm going to come and kill you. And now keep in mind, my dox is out there, right? You could just Google it, and obviously I don't live there anymore, right? But at the time, right, you could just Google it and find my house, right? So it's like, I got so many messages of people wishing death on me because I said, I am transgender, ask me anything on Gab. So keep this in mind. This is the kind of website this is, okay? The threats concerned a Department of Justice official, U.S. attorney, a prosecutor, and others involved in a federal case against members of the white supremacist Rise Above movement months earlier. One of the Gab users involved had also helped dox a blogger, attracting attention from another user who would later be accused of massacring worshippers in a Pittsburgh synagogue. Right? The connections here are absurd. right? The warrant sought information, including private messages and IP information on Chad Bagwell, an Alabama man who posted on Gab and attended at least one white supremacist rally under his own name. The investigation appears to have begun when Bagwell suggested other prominent Gab users, another prominent Gab user docs, that is, reveal private information on federal officials, particularly in the Justice Department. The search warrant's unsealing this week came at an appropriate time. Earlier this month, at least 15 people were arrested in three different alleged far-right plots to kidnap state or local officials. Two of those plots, which targeted Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, were organized online on websites where people probably met each other on Gab, and then they just went to like private, like secure, like fucking chat rooms or whatever. Or in a lot of these cases, they don't. They just use like Discord or something, right? Because they're fucking dumb. They have no notions of operational security whatsoever. You wouldn't think of using your considerable doxing talents on the federal government next, would you? Bagwell wrote to Gab user Hunter Wallace. I don't know, Bo. I know Hunter. An account long linked to Brad Griffin, a prominent member of the neo-Confederate group League of the South, in October 2018. We start with Rosenstein, work our way down to the arresting agents themselves, get ourselves a big ol' list of any system pig who's ever harmed our people in any way. Could be a useful thing to have in the event of, future contingencies. Very interesting quote there. Rosenstein was presumably a reference to then Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who did not immediately respond to a request for comment, but the suggestion came amid a discussion by other members of the far-right community about a U.S. attorney and other court-involved officials. Officials involved, I'm so sorry, I've got dyslexia, in the case against Rise Above, a white supremacist group that glorifies street-level violence. The group emerged on federal radars after they were seen beating up opponents at the 2017's deadly Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, where a neo-Nazi murdered an anti-racist protester. Now, you can read the rest of this article yourself, but I got a few little more highlighted bits. Michael Hayden, a senior investigative reporter at the Southern Poverty Law Center, said doxing was something of a communal activity on Gab, particularly in 2017 and 18. Especially around that time on Gab, you would get the dox, and then there would be like a celebratory sharing of threats. Hayden told the Daily Beast they would talk about publicly what they wanted to do to someone. It was very performative as well, he said, because some of the users appeared to be trying to incite reactions from anti-fascists who monitored the site. Doxing and murder plots are technically against Gab's rules. However, the site has sometimes turned a blind eye to users' bad behavior, allowing them to stay on the site after posting private information. Bagwell's account, for instance, is still live on Gab and uses his legal name, despite Gab receiving a warrant for his alleged activity. Gab took a reputational hit after the Tree of Life massacre, which Bowers appeared to advertise on the website. But although some of its most prominent users moved elsewhere or in multiple high-profile cases went to prison, Gab did little to change the site's culture, which had previously seen people like Bagwell build followings based on their incendiary remarks. Hayden said the lack of moderation plus the comfort people like Bagwell felt in using their legal names had real consequences. Gab, from 2017, the lead up to Charlottesville, up until the Tree of Life massacre, was the worst and most dangerous website I've ever seen, he said. It had this combination of the say anything mentality, and it gave people a capacity to promote their brand and become public figures. Again, I used to post on Gab ironically, and I would get thousands of death threats. And my dox was public at that time. So theoretically, I could post like, I like dogs, and then someone could look up my fucking docs and come and shoot and kill me as a result. I'm not even joking. I remember posting on Gab, like, what breed of dog is your favorite? Because I thought that was like a funny, like, you know, eugenicist adjacent thing. I thought I could get some funny responses. And I just got like literally hundreds of people telling me that I should kill myself because like they just looked at my profile and saw that like my bio was like, hi, I'm a transgender anti-racist activist and I'm here on Gab to ask a few questions, right? And like they just got so mad and they threatened to kill me over and over and over again. And it's weird. These people are weird. It's strange. It's bizarre. certainly very bizarre. And you need to be very, very, very aware that these are things that people are doing. And these are the people that are out there. These are the Trump supporters. These are the guys who, I don't agree with Trump, but he's a lesser of two evils. He'll protect our guys. Like that's the kind of mentality that these people have. And it's important to realize. But that's just me. That is just me. And that is my story on Gap. The chat's been moving a little fast. I haven't been reading it, but I feel like there may be dullards, so I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Hello, Giovanni V. Of course they made their own website. Yes, of course. I know you mean well, but the way you try to shame leftists for not voting... I don't... No. Skeptical Mantists. I do not shame leftists for not voting Biden. I have never done that. Okay? Let me be explicitly clear. My position is if you shame people for voting for Biden in a swing state, you are not what you are claiming to be. That is my opinion. And if you come into my chat room, I live in a swing state, and you want me to vote for nobody, you criticize me every day because I said I'd vote for Biden in a swing state. And all you do with your critique is give Trivial Pursuit things that I agree with and that I covered in the primary like 8 months ago. So it's like you're watching old videos of mine and reposting my own arguments, right? But I am in a swing state. I have made the calculation. I vote for Biden over Trump. If that triggers you, not you just you, Skeptical Mantis, but if anyone else, if that triggers you, then you need therapy. Plain and simple. You need therapy. You need to talk to more people. You need to get out of your echo chamber, and you need to get a fucking life. Smoke some weed, maybe? I don't know. Get a fucking hobby, perhaps, right? If your goal is to just shame people who vote Biden in swing states, you are accomplishing nothing. I don't give a shit who you vote for. I don't care. I voted for Jill Stein in 2016. And I don't regret it. I'm not sitting here going like, damn, I'm not thinking that because I lived in Maryland in 2016. My vote meant nothing. I live in North Carolina. I live in a swing state. I vote for Biden. I don't give a shit. I don't like Biden. Voting for Biden does not mean I like him, okay? So when you come at me and say, did you know Biden, the crime bill, and segregationist, and I already know that. I was on top of that shit 8 months ago. And I know you're late to the party, and I know you wish you were more active in the primary. We all do, right? But this isn't the primary. Shit happened. They cheated. They got away with it. It's Biden versus Trump. As a trans woman, I don't want Trump to get a second term because I fear that I would die under a second term. So if you, and again, I'm not even saying this to be, attacking you, Skeptical Mantis. I'm doing like a clip thing. I'm going to clip this. I'm going to repost it, okay? If you are coming at me and attacking me and saying I'm not a real socialist because I voted for Biden in a swing state, you're a fucking idiot. You are not a socialist yourself. You're a fucking antisocial fucking freak show. And if you want to tell me, all right, you want to tell me the strategy, I'll listen, all right? You want to say, all right, we're not going to vote for Biden, and then Biden's going to lose, and then Trump's going to declare martial law, and then we're going to have an uprising and revolution. All right, I'll listen to your revolution plan. I'm on board with a revolution. But guess fucking what? We couldn't win a primary. What makes you think we can win a fucking revolution? Against fucking a nuclear power. Like, I'm sorry. It's fantastical, it's ridiculous, and it's fucking dumb. Yes, I voted for Biden in a swing state. Can we talk about something else? Can we talk about fucking literally anything else? Skeptical Mantis, I know you like talking about the Black Panther Party. Let's talk about the Black Panther Party. Right? Let's set ourselves up. Because I remember, here's my thing, and I'm sorry, I'm getting triggered here. Because, right, I remember in 2016, I was right there with you. Fuck Hillary. Fuck Trump. Let's fucking burn this motherfucker down. You know what happened after the election? You know what the Green Party did? They did nothing. Right? Fuck it. They did nothing. You know what they did? They did nothing. They did nothing at all. They didn't run people for Congress. You know who did do something, though? Justice Democrats. They elected AOC. They elected Ilhan Omar, right? They elected so many other people that are great. Now we got a second wave coming in. Cori Bush, Jamal Bowman. Still waiting on the first Green Party candidate for Congress to win. Still waiting, right? They haven't done that yet. Now, let's talk about revolution, right? We have a historic uprising against police, right? And yet, we're still losing. We're still losing. This is the largest and most popular civil rights movement in American history. And guess what's happening? We're still losing. We're losing. We're losing. So what makes you think we can go from losing some more, to I'm not going to vote for Biden, and then because I didn't vote for Biden, we're going to jump out of the jack-in-the-box, right, and then fucking revolt. What? What? And also, why can't we do that if I vote for Biden? Like, I'm scribbling on a piece of paper, okay? Does that mean automatically I can't participate in your revolution? How are you going to revolt successfully? One, if you can't amass a popular enough support to win a fucking primary. And then two, if you're going to exclude anyone that votes for Biden in a general election. How are you going to fucking revolt against the government with such little fucking people power? And that's why this shit is dumb. Because instead of spending 4 fucking years, 8 years, 10 years, 15 years on building that fucking power, you see people on Twitter that are blocking people for saying that they might vote for Biden. I saw this Twitter thread earlier, and it triggered the fuck out of me, of an 18-year-old, like someone with socialist in their bio, 18 years old, saying that they're going to vote for Biden because they live in a swing state. And some big fucking lefty account with like 10K followers quote tweeted them saying, ha ha ha, did you know that Biden wrote the crime bill? Like, who the fuck do you think you're fucking appealing to? What is your strategy? What is your fucking strategy? Seriously, what is your fucking strategy? Bullying 18-year-olds for voting for Biden in a swing state with your 10K follower Twitter account? That's your strategy? What? It's fucking dumb. You people are fucking stupid. It's fucking ridiculous, okay? It's fucking ridiculous. If your entire political ideology is based solely on how people vote in an election, you're a fucking dunderhead. And I'm not talking about you, Skeptical Mantis. This is a clip thing. I'm going to post this to other people. You're a dullard. You're a fucking idiot. You're a social reject, and we will never build a socialist society with you at the helm in any capacity, okay? I'm getting sick and fucking tired, okay? If Biden wins the fucking presidency, which he's polling 15 points higher in a national polling, right? What makes you think we can't win a primary? Our fucking uprisings against police brutality are resulting in more of us being killed, right? What makes you think that alienating 55% or whatever the number ends up being of voters, what makes you think alienating them is going to bring about a revolution? What makes you think that that's going to happen? It's ridiculous. It's fantastical. It's fucking dumb. Yes, I voted for Joe Biden. If you think that makes me no longer a communist, get the fuck over it and give me your alternative strategy. Where do I go? The revolution's happening tomorrow, and that's why I shouldn't vote? All right. Give me the rendezvous point. Where do we go? Right. You're not going to tell me where the rendezvous point is because you don't have anything besides LARPy fan fiction to rely on, and you're a fucking curmudgeon. You're a cringe lord, antisocial curmudgeon, and you want to make everyone as depressed as you are. I've been depressed most of my life, and thankfully I am no longer depressed, right? And I get it. Depression is a hell of a drug. I understand. It makes you do stupid things. But I'm telling you right now, if you think you're going to build a mass socialist utopian uprising against the government and police in this country, and your strategy of doing so is, but Biden wrote the crime bill, you gotta rearrange your expectations, because that shit ain't happening. It ain't happening, and you look like a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. You look like a fucking moron. You're embarrassing. You're the people that the right wing will take screenshots of and make fun of all of the left because of. You are fucking morons. You are the people that are doing the bidding of the Koch brothers and oil barons, right? Oh, I'm gonna cast my strategic vote for fucking Howie Hawkins in Wisconsin to teach the Democrats teach the Democrats a lesson? How petty and how antisocial are you? Teach the Democrats a lesson? What? You're not teaching the Democrats a lesson. They're rich oligarchs. They're aristocrats. They're going to be rich no matter what. They've had record fundraising under Donald Trump. All you're doing, if you vote for fucking Howie Hawkins, right? And I'm not vote shaming you, right? You can vote, I don't care. But when you come after me, I'm going to tell you what I think. All you're doing is paving the way for these people to be, one, having less ability to be held accountable. Private institutions are less likely to be held accountable than public institutions. You are giving them more money. You are increasing their wealth because they're in the top marginal tax bracket. So when they get the Trump tax cuts, they make money. You are increasing their fundraising. And you are cementing their fake controlled opposition narrative. You are doing the exact opposite of what you claim to do. Oh, you're going to teach the Democrats a lesson. The DACA recipients, I'm sure they're going to love that you wanted to teach the Democrats a lesson. Us trans people who are going to lose our access to health care, I'm sure we're going to love the fact that you taught the Democrats a lesson. Thank you for your brave teaching of the Democrats that lesson that they needed. They needed that lesson, and you taught them. You were brave, and you taught them that lesson. You replying at Joe Biden on Twitter. You wrote the crime bill. You taught them the lesson. Good job. You did it. They learned their lesson, and now what? Now fucking what? Now what? What's next? Fucking idiot. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I had a lot of pent-up frustration there. If you can't influence Biden before you vote for him, how will you influence him after you've already voted for him? A public institution, by nature of being public, can be held accountable more than a private institution. Simple as that. God damn it, dude. Like, if the revolution is not in between now and November 3rd, shut the fuck up. If the revolution is going to be on October 17th of 2027, who gives a fuck how people vote in the 2020 election? Right? I have friends that voted for George W. Bush. I have friends that voted for fucking John McCain. Does that mean I cancel them forever? No. Get a fucking grip. I don't know, man. A lot of pent-up frustration there, so I'm sorry if I started yelling. My apologies. Yeah. That's my opinion. I'm sorry. I don't know, man. I just, like, it's so off-putting. To me, it's so off-putting. Like, for me, being a leftist is first and foremost about being a human. Skeptical Mantis, no. I'm not. I'm not doing that. This is some fan fiction that you've concocted in your mind. Just because I post videos about being, like, anti-Trump, Trump is the fucking president of the United States. Of course I'm going to make videos about the president of the United States, dude. What? When Biden is the president, I'm going to be making videos, guess what? About the president of the United fucking States. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus. It's just so ridiculous, this shit. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Like, I genuinely am getting a little triggered. Dude, in this show, so far, I talked about AOC having a gaming channel. I talked about Trump's tax records with China. That's barely about the election. And I talked about white supremacists and how they organize on Gab to kill people. And you're coming to my show saying, all you talk about is the election. All you talk about is the election. I was telling you my personal experience about being doxxed and how that affected me, and about how I've gotten 5,000 death threats from neo-Nazis on a website that is responsible for killing people with mass shootings. And you're going to come to my channel to, all you talk about is the election. All you talk about is the... Dude, get a fucking grip. I am a human being. You are a human being. We have had... Now I'm talking directly to you, Skeptical Mantis, just for reference. I'm talking to you. We are human beings. We've had conversations on a voice call. You can stop. You can stop doing your little identity politics bullshit. You can stop doing the, like, MSNBC liberal that you want to paint me as. Oh, you're acting like this, and it's very Sam Cedar-ish, as if that's an insult to me, right? It's like, all you talk about is the election. Dude, get a fucking grip. All you talk about is the election and how much you hate it. That's the thing here that's ironic, is that's all you talk about. All you talk about is the election, but from an apathetic standpoint. You know what? You know what I don't like? Let me give you an example of something I don't care about and then I think will have no effect on anything. A baseball game, right? I don't give a shit about baseball, right? I'm not going to bet on who's going to win. I don't give a fuck, right? So you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to go into baseball streams and say, I don't care about baseball. At the end of the day, I'm not going to do that. Why? Because I don't care. And I think that nothing's going to happen. I think that both sides are the same and the outcome will be the same regardless. So if that's your opinion on the 2020 election, why are you here? Why are you here? I am Sudan. Just because I don't want to kill transgender people does not mean I'm a liberal, you fucking moron. If you want to advocate for a system of governance that kills transgender people, you cannot say that you're leftier than anyone else. Skeptical Mantis, I don't give a shit about your channel. I'm talking about how you speaking to me. I've never looked at your channel. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. I don't care about your channel. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to be insulting here. I'm really not. But, it's not about your channel versus my channel. Okay? It's about you as a person and how you're communicating with other people. This isn't a fucking, we're comparing our portfolios. No. We're not doing that. This is a human-to-human conversation. Let's get our shit together. Because you got right-wingers in this chat room right now that are laughing at this. Because it is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. I thought when Bernie Sanders was running for president, I thought that fucking coalition would stay together. But no, it fell apart. Just like it did in 2016. Right? It fell the fuck apart. Why? Because you people are so fucking high-strung about, all of my friends must agree with me on everything or else. If they didn't fill out their ballot the same exact way that I would, they are cancelled eternally. Shut the fuck up with that shit. Skeptical Mantis, no you is not a strategy. I'm sick and I'm fucking tired of this shit. Okay? I'm sick and I'm fucking tired of this shit. Of people insulting teenagers. Dude, if you're 18 years old and this is your first election, right? And you make a TikTok video about you dancing and saying, I'm voting, look at me, I'm voting. And then you've got some fucking Rose Twitter account with 30,000 followers saying, LMAO, your makeup is bad. LMAO, your dancing skills. Dude, what the fuck is the matter with you people? That's not leftism. That's you being a fucking bully. That's you being a piece of shit fucking bully. There is a difference. And I'm sorry for getting off on this. There is a fucking difference, okay? between bullying Neera Tanden on Twitter and bullying a random TikTok 19-year-old for making a dancing video, those are two different things. One is speaking truth to power. The other is just being a fucking piece of garbage. Those are two different things. I'm sorry. I'm just sick of this fucking shit. I can't wait for this election to be over so that people can get their fucking shit together. But I guarantee you, as soon as this fucking election is over, you're going to get people, oh, did you vote for Biden? You voted for Biden. You're not allowed to say, oh, did you vote this way? It's fucking ridiculous. I am Sudan. You post a bunch of stupid fucking garbage in my fucking YouTube chat on a daily basis. You're an antisocial, self-admitted loner, and you're a freak. You advocate for policies that would get me killed. You keep saying, oh, I want Trump to win for a civil war. You know who dies in a civil war? People like me. That's who dies in a civil war, you fucking idiots. Jesus Christ. Think before you fucking speak, dude. Think before you fucking speak. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Jesus Christ. Like, I just want this to be understood, right? My mentality here is like, I made a Twitter account during the primary to follow people throughout the primary to organize to win the primary. That's why I made a Twitter account. Honestly, I should fucking delete my Twitter account, right? But I have a lot of followers because sometimes I post selfies and I have a lot of simps on there, right? So I just keep it just for that. But I have not really followed that many new people since the primary. And a lot of the people that I followed during the primary have turned into right-wingers. Have turned into bizarre fucking antisocial freaks. Some of them that I followed when they had 400 followers now have 50,000 followers. And you know what they do? They spend their 50,000 followers not retweeting GoFundMes for trans people who got kicked out of their houses. No, of course not. Not retweeting GoFundMes for people for medical debt. No, they spend their 50,000 followers making fun of teenagers who voted for Joe Biden. That's what they spend their 50,000 fucking followers on. You can bet your fucking sweet bippy. If I ever get 50,000 fucking followers on anything, I'm not going to spend that fucking clout attacking teenagers who vote for Joe Biden. Because what the fuck has to be wrong with you for that to happen? I get it, you're depressed. The world sucks. Coronavirus fucking sucks, right? I haven't gotten laid in a year. It's made me angry. It's made me antsy, right? I want to go out and I want to have a social life, right? I want to meet people. I want to be a fucking human being and I'm stuck inside. But you know what I'm not doing? I'm not going on Twitter and attacking fucking teenagers who vote for Joe Biden because that's not going to accomplish anything. I can think to myself, that's kind of cringe, and then move on with my life. That's allowed. That's allowed. You can do that, okay? I promise. You can say, that teenager voting for Joe Biden, that's a little cringe. Maybe one day they'll learn, and you could just move on. You don't have to tweet about it with your 50,000 followers. You don't have to tweet about it, with your 10,000 followers, and one of your followers have 50,000, and then they're going to retweet. You don't have to do that. You don't have to dogpile on a fucking 18 or 19-year-old who's excited to cast their first ballot. You don't have to do that. You're a fucking freak. You're a fucking freak. Because you know what that does? You know what that fucking does? That 19-year-old is going to remember that they had death threats and they had a bunch of people. Because you know what happens when leftists do this, when they amplify this shit? Right-wingers see it. And right-wingers go on that shit. I've seen this happen many times of leftists boosting someone who's like a 19-year-old TikToker who's got like 400 followers on TikTok, right? A leftist will repost their TikTok on Twitter with their 15,000 follower account and they'll talk about, oh, cringy Biden voter. And that'll go viral on leftist Twitter to get like 4,000 retweets about how that teenager is evil. And you know what happens when something gets 4,000 retweets? Right-wingers find it. And right-wingers will go and say, oh, that person voted for Biden. Let's go harass them. They will see that person only has 300 followers on TikTok, right? And then they will go be their 350th follower, 400th follower, 500th follower, and then what they're going to do is harass the shit out of that person all the fucking time because you wanted to have your little fucking cringe fest on Twitter. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sorry. I know I got derailed. I derailed the whole show for this. I know, and I'm so sorry for that. But I'm sick of this fucking shit. I'm sick of fucking clout chasing. I'm sick of fucking... Like, I've been on YouTube for 10 years, and as a result, I've got 30 viewer live streams, right? That's embarrassing. That's pathetic. You want to know what I don't care about? How many viewers I get. Because this fucking channel is not about clout chasing. I'm not how do I get the widest amount of people? How do I appeal to the widest audience? Like, I don't give a shit. Oh, I'm gonna dunk on people and do viral dunk video. I don't give a fuck unless they're like far-right fascists, right? I don't care. Because this channel is about me having fun, about me giving my opinions, and about me having a chill environment with people that like my content. That's all I care about. I don't give a fuck. And you see people like fucking clout chasing. And I just, it sucks so much dick. Because that's capitalism infecting your fucking brain. That shit is capitalism infecting your fucking brain. You think you're above someone else because you didn't vote in an election and they did? Guess what, motherfucker? That's a hierarchy. Now, do I necessarily disagree with thinking that you're better than Trump voters? Not really. Do I think that it's bad to think that you're a better person than a fascist, for God's sake? No. But when you're comparing fascists to teenagers on TikTok who are excited to vote in their first election for Biden, if you're calling them a fascist, you're a fucking idiot. You are a fucking moron. And if you're calling me a fascist because I voted for Joe Biden, you're a fucking dipshit. I'm on your side on everything except for who to scribble on a piece of paper. That's our only difference. Maybe our only other difference is I have a sense of humor and I actually care about other people. Maybe that can be more differences. But I'm sick and tired of that fucking garbage. So fucking annoying. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I got fucking... Ugh. The only hierarchy I support is the one that makes the show above it all. That's absolutely correct. With all that being said, I'm above it all. I'm better than everyone else. Stay mad. Stay mad. I'm so sick of that stuff. I'm just so fucking sick of it, dude. Such a waste of time. It really is such a waste of fucking time. Crucial time. Like, if I go on Twitter right now, right, I'm going to see people who I followed 6 months ago because they were supporting Bernie Sanders retweeting someone who voted for Biden saying, "How dare you?" It's just fucking dumb as shit. It's just so fucking dumb, man. I'm sorry, I'm trying to calm down. Because, like, my thing, like, my channel, I get a lot of interaction from right-wingers. I get how that works. I understand how that works. Right? And when I get right-wingers, they will always say, like, terms like, the left is eating itself. And guess what? The right is winning. Joe Biden, being the Democratic nominee, the right has won. Right? Capitalism has won. They are winning. Does that mean that they will win 50 years from now? I don't know. I consider every moment to be crucial. I want every person I know, right? Assuming they're not a fascist and they say like things like, I think that trans people should die, right? To them, they're useless to me. But anyone that does not think that trans people should die, I want them to eventually become anarchists or communists or whatever. I don't give a shit. And one way to do that is not to nitpick their fucking TikTok. It's ridiculous, dude. It's fucking ridiculous. I'll consider it, Bodan. I'll consider it. I'll consider it. Yeah? I can't, I'm trying to wrap my mind around the person who thinks that, like, a TikTok teenager is their enemy. Like, what needs to destroy your brain for you to think that a 19-year-old dancing on TikTok in front of their 300 followers, excited that they get to vote for the first time, the fact that people think that that is their enemy, it's fucking ridiculous, dude. It's fucking ridiculous. That's doing so much irreparable damage. Because my thing is, like, my position, right? My position is that I interact with a lot of people that have been in that situation, that have said, like, oh, this is where the whole Bernie bro thing comes from. Right? Remember the whole Bernie bro thing? What better way to disprove the myth of Bernie bros than to go harass teenagers with 300 followers with your fucking 15 follower Twitter account, where 50 follower and 100K follower, like 100K follower, like, people follow you and they're going to retweet it. If you think that that is disproving the Bernie bro myth, you're a fucking dipshit. You're a fucking dipshit. Be ruthless with institutions and be kind to people, to quote Michael Brooks. That is the ideology that I ascribe to. Anyway, I'm going to try to finish up what I had in store for this episode. So this will be a little bit of a long one, because I had like a few more things I wanted to talk about. So, let's talk about coronavirus. There is a lot of talk about, oh, the 99% survival rate. You get corona and you're good to go, right? You just survive and that's it. It's a binary to a lot of Trump people. Either you get corona and you survive and you're perfect, or you get corona and you die. That's all that matters to them. Long-term health effects, fuck them. Fuck long-term health effects. Who needs long-term health effects? Fuck them. All that matters, do you die or do you not die? That's all that matters to Trump and the right-wing base. So here's a story. This story came out yesterday, Tuesday, October 20th. Man dies from long COVID 3 months after being cheered out of hospital. What is long COVID, you ask? Long COVID is basically what they're referring to as symptoms that don't go the fuck away after you get coronavirus. That is long COVID. But no, all that matters, you get COVID and you get out of the hospital, you're fine. That's all that matters. 99% survival rate. That's all that matters. Long-term health effects that don't exist. These people are fucking ridiculous that say that. So I'm going to read this story. This is coming out of the UK, I believe. It's on metro.co.uk, so I assume, right? A man who was the last virus patient to be discharged from a hospital in July after spending 60 days in intensive care has died of long COVID, his family have said. Royal Ribaya, I'm so sorry for mispronouncing, 47, was admitted to Blackpool, 47 years old. That's not old. That's relatively young. Was admitted to Blackpool Victoria Hospital on May 29th and spent 48 days on a ventilator battling the virus. He was then cheered out of the hospital by nurses and doctors in July and later told how he'd been sure he was going to die while in the ward. His family have now revealed, he never recovered from the virus. Mr. Ribaya suffered a cardiac arrest on October 13th and slipped into a coma, dying 2 days later. His wife, Stella Ricio Ribaya, a nurse, said, "He was never the same. He was so breathless all the time. Please follow the government's advice so we can stop the virus. He was taken too soon. We don't want any more to die." A close friend of the family, Mark de la Bejan, said Mr. Rabia's cause of death was cardiac arrest, with post-COVID pulmonary fibrosis listed as a secondary cause. Mark said it was long COVID. His breathing was never the same, and he couldn't get up the stairs. He was rushed back to a hospital a number of times. He described his friend as the life and soul of the party, who was very funny and always joking around. Doctors told how they had survived the first wave of this silent killer. When Mr. Rabia was first discharged from their care, he was the last coronavirus patient on the ward. Dr. Jason Cuppet said at the time, "I remember the first cases. The nurses had tears in their eyes." Reminder, a lot of doctors and nurses have committed suicide in the last year from PTSD in relating to this pandemic. I just want to underscore that. They knew nothing about this new disease. It was terrifying for them. The staff were frightened. I liken it to sending young soldiers into battle, into the unknown, to fight an enemy they couldn't see. I felt very responsible. But although you can see the fear, you could feel the determination of the staff. He added, "One of the hardest things was having to talk to families over the phone who could not be with their loved ones. I have seen colleagues break down in tears with the heartbreak of dealing with separated loved ones and trying to explain what could happen. There are patients I will certainly remember for the rest of my life, as they were part of the most frightening and exciting time of my career." On Tuesday, Kevin McGee, chief executive of Blackpool Teaching Hospitals NHS Foundation Trust, said their staff were devastated by Mr. Rabia's death. Mr. McGee said, "We were extremely saddened to hear about the death of Roel, and our thoughts and prayers are with his family at this sad time." So no, it's not just you survive and you're good. You recover. You don't fucking recover from this disease a lot of the time. Alright? And I want to underscore the amount of depression that this fucking virus and this pandemic has given our people, right? I know people in my family that have family members that have COVID and are dying and have died in my family. And you know what they can't do? You know what they can't do? Go to the hospital and see them. Why? We don't have the money to go because, you know, these are in other states. We don't have that kind of cash. And even if we did, COVID, can't go in the room. Sorry. Imagine having to hear the words that your fucking family member is dead in a hospital in a state that you can't go to, that even if you could go to, you wouldn't be allowed to see them. Imagine what fucking toll that does on a person for the rest of their fucking life. And you've got people out there that are like, okay, it's nothing. 99% survival rate. Ho, 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 ho. It's fucking, I hate this shit, dude. I hate this fucking garbage. I hate it so fucking much. Ugh. I'm pissed the fuck off right now. I'm pissed the fuck off. I'm sorry, I'm so fucking mad right now. Like, there's so much we could be doing. Like, if we invested all the money we're investing in nuclear fucking bombs on a fucking virus, we'd be fine. But no, we're still killing each other. We're still fucking yelling at each other. We're mocking each other. We're attacking each other. There is a fucking virus that is literally exterminating the human race. And what are we doing? What are we doing? We're yelling at each other on Twitter. Right? We're going to fucking rallies and punching each other in the face. We're shooting each other at protests. We have cops killing teenagers and children for no reason. We have cops just killing people in general for no reason. We're all killing each other. We're all scared of each other. You have people who think, right, on the right who are absorbed in Facebook shit. You have people that think that black people are running through the streets throwing Molotovs through their windows, and as a result, now they hate all black people, right? You see, like, it's ridiculous, right? You see fucking international fucking affairs. You see people bombing other countries. You see people shooting fucking drone striking fucking civilian fucking encampments, dude. Murdering children. When we can all work together to get rid of this fucking virus. Why aren't we doing that? What is going on here? What the fuck is going on? I'm fucking pissed. I'm sorry. Holy shit, I'm pissed the fuck off. Like, during fucking World War II, there were a lot of countries that disagreed. Russia and America fought together to get rid of a common enemy. Why don't we all do that? Why don't we all do that? Get rid of the common enemy that is the fucking plague that is exterminating the human race. I don't know. Why don't we get our shit together? But instead you have conspiracy theorists who fucking read some news on Facebook. Oh, 99% survival. We're doomed. We're doomed. I'm sorry. We are doomed. We're all gonna fucking die, dude. Holy shit, man. We are all gonna fucking die. Jeez. Anyway, how's everyone else doing? I'm like triggered as fuck right now. I'm hardcore tilted as the Gen Xers who want to pretend that their kids would say. I'm tilted. But yeah, hopefully y'all are enjoying this broadcast. Yeah. It's ridiculous, dude. We're fucked. We're fucked. Janez, are you legit coming in my chat room saying you're a nurse and that COVID is fake? Yeah, sure. Okay, PTSD. Are you mocking nurses that had patients die in their arms from a virus that they didn't understand? You're mocking them for having PTSD? You're not just a dullard, as Skeletino is saying. You're a piece of human garbage. Fuck you. You're a fucking shitbag. Shut the fuck up, Janez. You're not edgy. You're not cool. You're not above it all. You're not, jaded. You're a fucking idiot. You are a fucking moron. I'm sorry. You are a piece of dog shit. Yes, people die every day. But when people die every day and then all of a sudden, over a course of a couple weeks, you have 60 people die in your hospital every day. Oh, not 60, 80 people, 100 people, 200 people die in your arms on a daily basis and you're mocking them? Go fuck yourself. Have you ever taken care of a dying patient? No. All I do is stream and LARP. Shut the fuck up, dude. Have empathy. Have compassion. Yes, people die every day. And that's horrible. That's not something that should be said with oh yeah, people die every day. Yeah, people die every day. Oh, your wife died? People die every day. What are you, Neil deGrasse Tyson? What, your wife died? Well, I'll have you know that 369 people die every year from car accident or whatever the fuck. Or every, week. Oh, your mom died. Well, I'll have you know that many people's moms died. Yeah, you're not cool. You're not edgy. You're not epic. You're a piece of fucking shit. If you are going out there and this is your message to society, I don't know all the solutions. I don't claim to know all the solutions. What? When have I ever claimed to have the solutions? I'm saying that we should stop fucking killing each other and that we should focus on making ourselves healthy and happy. That's my ideology. Do I know how to get there? Fuck no. If I knew how to get there, I sure as hell wouldn't be streaming right now. If I knew how to get there, I sure as hell would be doing literally anything else. People die every day, therefore it's okay when people die. Go fuck yourself. I'm sorry. Go fuck yourself. I am angry, Mr. Free Glitcher. I am angry. I've got COVID deniers in my chat room, dude. People I know have died of this fucking disease. And you've got this dipshit in the chat. People die every day. Your family member died? I'll have you know, people die every day. The fuck is your problem? What has to go wrong for you to say that, Janice? Were you abused as a child? I was abused as a child. I know how that is. Are you depressed? I've been depressed most of my life. Do you want to talk about it, Janice? Do you want me to be your therapist? Do you want to start over and let's try to like have a one-to-one conversation? What has to go wrong in your brain? Where you hear someone talk about their dead family member and your response is, people die every day. Haha, get over it. Fucking dipshit, dude. You are not a human. You are a scumbag. I'm sorry. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, dude. I'm sick of it. No, you don't have common sense. What are you going to say to a grieving widow? Oh, yeah, your husband died. But did you know that there are approximately 17.3K husbands that leave a widow behind on a weekly basis? What? That's common sense, apparently. That's common sense. You heard it here from Janice in the chat. That's common sense. So next time your sister calls you on the phone and says, you know, my husband just died, you know what you're going to do? You know what you're going to do? Oh, your husband's dead? Well, if it's any consolation, did you know that, you know, about 15.5 million husbands die over a 10-year period? Did you know that? And watch them hang up on you. You fucking heartless scumbag. Fucking piece of shit. Go fuck yourself. Such a trash fucking human being. It's not even funny. It's not funny. Go back to 4chan. It's not funny. LMAO! People are dying. That's funny? LOL! Your family member's dead. Haha! That's funny to you? You think that's funny? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. That's just... It's sickening. It's sickening. The human experience, man. Oh my god. This shit, man. I gotta roll a fucking hard one after this. Hold up, man. I gotta fucking get wasted right now. Hold the fucking phone. I need to get fucking wasted. This is too much for me, y'all. Y'all are breaking my fucking brain with your fucking disgusting anti-human garbage. Like, Jesus. Motherfucking Christ. I have people in my family that lost their parents because of this virus. And you're coming in here saying, oh, get over it. I have to interact with, on a daily basis, someone who's losing their fucking family members to this virus. And this motherfucker, right? I have to see people in my family cry when they hear the news that their fucking parents might not make it. And you're just telling, oh, no big deal. No big deal. No biggie. People die every day. Absolute fucking shit. Fuck all, dude. I hate you. I hate you. Like, damn, I'm sorry if I'm too emotional, but I fucking hate you. You are a terrible person. And the worst part is you don't have to be. You don't have to be this bad. You don't have to be such a garbage scumbag. You can be a normal person. You're allowed. Right? You're allowed. Like, it's okay. I used to be a scumbag. When I was like 20 years old, I was a piece of shit. Right? So you're allowed to grow up. You're allowed to mature. Being an edgy 4chan shitposter is not the end-all be-all in your fucking human experience, dude. Being a fucking edgy shitposter, lol, this person's family member's dead, I'm gonna make fun of them. Like, that's not cool. That doesn't, like, you don't get, like, bonus points for that. No one's keeping score. Like, there's not, like, a fucking evil, like, unless you're a Satan worshiper, but most of these people that say this shit pretend to believe in, like, the Christian God, right? It's not like Satan is in hell, with a fucking like scorecard. It's like, yeah, this person told someone whose mother died that it was no big deal. Got him. Like, what? What? You, like, what? Why are you doing this? Seriously. Like, I know you think, lol, SJW triggered. I am triggered. Why are you doing this? What the fuck is the, like, what is the matter with you? Like, I'm serious right now. Like, I know I banned this person for 300 seconds, right? Like, it's just, it's ridiculous, dude. I am Sudan. What is, like, are you saying weed is for children? You should not be smoking weed under the age of 21, in my opinion. Now, granted, I have smoked weed with people under the age of 21, but that's not important right now. I'm 24 years old, dude. I'm an adult. Lol, you telling people to grow up, but did you just eat a cookie? Like, are you going to say that to someone? Like a 30-year-old housewife or something who's like baking cookies for their 3-year-old son? You're baking cookies? You need to grow up. What? What a stupid fucking comment. And again, Sudan, like you think you're funny? No, I don't need to stop smoking. I don't need to stop smoking. Just because maybe you need to start smoking because you're an insufferable piece of garbage. I am Sudan. Maybe you should start smoking. Maybe then you'd realize how to speak to other people. Maybe then you'd realize that advocating for the death of minorities is not a way to build a working class coalition to achieve communism. Fucking piece of shit. I bet you still drink soda, though. Bet you still eat a bunch of, like, fucking bread. I bet you still eat food that's been processed. I bet you've had a fucking fast food burger in the last couple of years, right? I am Sudan. And you're gonna tell me to grow up? No, Janez, you don't disagree with me. You don't disagree with me. That's the thing. This isn't an opinion. You are telling me, and I have dead family members. You are telling me that my dead family members don't matter. That is just wrong. I'm banning you from this channel indefinitely. Get the fuck out of here. You are a fucking piece of shit. Oh, Susie, your kid died in a car accident? Well, did you know that 38 kids die in car accidents every month? Beep, beep, beep. No wonder you have no fucking friends, you piece of shit. Jesus Christ, these people are fucking psychopaths. And I'm sick of it. I'm like actually genuinely fucking triggered. Send me an email when you grow a fucking heart. When you say, I realized how bad it was to cheer on the deaths of thousands of people I've never met. When you realize how bad that is, send me a fucking email. Because I believe in rehabilitation. I believe people can be saved. And as a result, I hope the best for you. But I don't expect the best, needless to say. I hope that once this election is over, I hope when Trump is gone, when Trump is gone, people start acting like normal humans again. I really, really hope that is the case. But I'm skeptical of whether or not that will happen. I'm very, very skeptical of whether or not that will happen. Because humans, they're just terrible creatures. For some reason, like, we're capable of such beauty and amazing things that we're capable of. And yet, you see people go like, I'm a nurse. I see people die every day. Fuck your dead mom. Suck my dick. Your mom's dead? Fuck it. I'm a nurse. I don't care. Fuck them. Your family members in the hospital dying of coronavirus? People die every day. Fucking piece of shit. It's legit psychopath shit. That's one of the problems with the internet, is it's allowed psychopaths to, like, advertise their brand of fucking evil. Because that's what it is. It's evil. this person's a nurse and they're evil. This is the thing. It's like, I know so many people that like are transgender, right? And they live in like the South. Benzos are great. I love benzos. But they live in the South, and they've go to the doctor. The nurse is just a transphobic piece of shit. Like, just because you're a nurse and your job is ostensibly to help people, it's a cover. That's a cover. You're not a better person because you're a nurse. Anyone can be a nurse. Not everyone, but like, if I went to a doctor, right, and my nurse was a homophobic piece of shit or a transphobic piece of shit, you know what I would do? I would punch them in the fucking face. If I went to the doctor, right, and the doctor was like, people die every day, I'd punch them in the fucking face. Because that's what they deserve, and that's what you deserve, Janice, because you're a piece of fucking shit. You're a soulless, heartless scumbag. And the worst part is it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to be that person. You want to be that person so desperately that you're coming in here again and again and again trying to own me. Because you want to be that person. Why do you desire to be such a bad person? Why does that make you feel good about yourself? It's like, oh yeah, I told someone whose mom died that people die every day. I feel better now. It's like, what? Does that give you dopamine? Does that make you feel good? Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, seriously. Like, you need therapy. You need fucking therapy. If that's the shit that you're spewing. Like, you need fucking therapy. It's ridiculous, dude. I'm sick and fucking tired of all these fucking haters, man. I know this is like a totally weird stream right now. And I just want everyone to know, like, I'm chill. Like, I'm fine. I just have a lot of pent-up anger. And, it comes out every now and then. This is why I've got a stream. So I'm allowed to explain my pent-up anger. And I'm allowed to display it in public without... Right? Like, I get it, you're mad Bernie lost, but I don't need to repost TikTok teenagers dancing about Joe Biden to feel good about myself. I just need to yell on a camera for like an hour. If I have money for that, Skeletino, reminder, give me money today. Yeah, give me money today. And then also tomorrow, just give me money like every day. That's like a general rule. Janez, shut the fuck up. I am judging you because of what you said. Judge people by their character and the things that they say. That is my philosophy. When you come into my chat room and you say, fuck your dead family, fuck your dead family, fuck your dead family. That's why I'm judging you. Apologize or stay banned. You can post your little epic fucking meme shit. You're still here listening to me apparently, right? You can post as many epic memes as you want. Pretend to get the last word in over and over and over again. You are staying banned until you apologize. You have told me I have family members that are dead. You have told me that their lives do not matter. I have family members that have had COVID and seemingly have recovered. With news coming out of people dying of long COVID, that's concerning to me. Just spat all over my screen. I'm a spit talker. I'm a spit yeller. Right? That's concerning to me. If you disagree, that's like this. It's just no. There is no disagreement. This isn't like a fucking my opinion on this subject. No, there is no opinion. When you go to people's live streams and say, fuck your dead mom, you're a piece of shit. Plain and simple. No ifs, no ands, certainly no buts. You are garbage. You are human slime. You know what you can do, Janez? You know what you can do? Make a video like I'm doing. If you want people to just stop caring about, oh yeah, people die every day, we should just stop caring about other people. If that's your ideology, If everyone were individualists and didn't care about anyone, this pandemic wouldn't be so bad. People wouldn't be so depressed. Right? If that's your fucking thing, okay. Go make your own YouTube channel. Fucking piece of shit. Don't come on my fucking shit and say, fuck your dead mom. Fuck your family member's dead mom. Fuck your uncles. Fuck them. I don't give a shit about them. Fuck them. People die every day. It's just psychopath shit. Like, the fact that a human being is capable of such evil is ridiculous to me. While they claim to be fighting for good and justice. Dude, CBD is great. CBD is wonderful. I have a lot of mental health problems myself, but I've never been on medication of any kind. So that's my context. I never had health insurance up until a couple years ago. And there's like a pandemic going on. Like there was a pandemic as soon as I got health insurance, right? So it's like maybe I could get that stuff. But I've had benzos recreationally. And they made me feel really, 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 really good. Only a couple times. And I'm not advocating for drug use. But maybe they only made me feel good because of my underlying mental health problems. That's totally possible. It's totally possible. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is where my white privilege comes in. It's like, yeah, I just started talking to my dad again, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I have a job that offers health insurance until you're 26." And it's like, "Well, I wish you would have told me that when I was 15." But thank you, Dad. I appreciate that. A little late, but it's not too late. I can get a few years of health insurance. That's where I'm at right now. That's my current scenario. Just happen to have a dad who has a good job. Lucky. Lucky. Yeah, sure, we didn't talk for like 10 years, but alright, that's fine. I can get hormones now, so that's cool. For $10 instead of fucking 1,000. You know, well, not 1,000. Like I was paying without health insurance. Hormones were like somewhere between 60 and 90 a month, depending on what kind, and there's a lot of other shit. I don't know why. Hey, Antifa is unstoppable. Thank you for that. I'm glad someone caught on to that. But thank you for watching this stream. This is the longest episode of Above It All. I'm just kind of like, I've got one more news story I want to talk about, but I got like really fucking triggered. So like, I'm just kind of chill. I'm just trying to chill, and then I want to talk about the last news story on my list. But thank you for watching. I mean, how do y'all feel about this episode? Again, I've got a lot of pent up anger at people, because what happened in 2016 with the Bernie movement just happened again in 2020. We learned nothing. We learned nothing, and we gained nothing. As far as the species goes, as far as human beings go, we learned nothing at all. Janice, I have told you, I have family members that have COVID and that have had COVID. You are telling me it's not a problem? I am telling you there are stories and stories and stories of people saying that, yes, my family member died having COVID 4 months ago. Are you saying that this is fake news? Is that what you're saying? All the news is fake? Oh, it only happened once. People die every day. Fake news. Shut the fuck up. You are a piece of garbage. You are a piece of shit. Xanax for the Democrats. He followed up by saying Biden would have a calming effect. I mean, I think that's true, actually. I think that's true. And while they're tripping, then we take over? No, I am Sudan. I will not stop attacking you. I want you to be a good person. Because you seem like you have the core fundamental character and personality traits of a good person. But you're stuck in this edgelord persona. And that's what scares me. Because I used to be an edgelord. I used to be a piece of fucking dog shit. And I want you to stop doing that. And that's my mission. That's why I'm here. Because I want people to be better. I'm feeling a lot better right now, I'm telling you. All of a sudden, I don't know why. All of a sudden, I just feel way chiller. Yo, I gotta have one of these, like, handy. Like, when I start getting triggered, I'm able to just light up and just, like, get back on the show. Like, you know, this shit, man. I just spent, like, an hour. Fucking, like, screaming about, like, a bunch of shit. Because I'm a crazy person. I'm unstable. I mean, like, that's the thing. Just be a good person. I am Sudan. As a former edgelord, I recognize the edgelord persona. And I get it. You have no friends because you're antisocial and you're depressed. I understand that. I was depressed from the age of, like, 12 all the way up until, like, earlier this year. I'm not even joking. So, like, I feel you and I want to help you. And I know that genuine compassion is not probably going to really break through that wall of yours. So I choose to mock you a little bit. Forgive me for that. Thank you, Sophia. I appreciate that. But yeah, like, I first got into politics in 2016. Right? And when the Bernie campaign in 2020 started, first of all, I thought he was going to win. Especially when he won Nevada. Bitch. When he won Nevada, I thought everything was going to be okay. But now I'm seeing the world is fucked. We are so fucked. And, yeah, we're fucked. That was our only chance, I think. As far as Americans go, that was our only chance of not being fucked. Was Bernie 2020? We're fucked. We're fucked. It's over. It's over. We're fucked. We are fucked. Let me just tell you. Again, I'm just gonna... I'll table the other story I wanted to talk about for tomorrow. I'm just gonna chill for a little bit. But let me just tell you, Primitive Archer, shut the fuck up. You said I should be in jail for having a flag on my wall, and you said you want to fucking overthrow the governments that millions and millions, billions of people actually live in. Shut the fuck up. You have nowhere to talk. Holy shit, just in time. The Dullard Squad? The Dullard Squad has just arrived, everybody. You're acknowledging that some people on the left are depressed and therefore edge post on Twitter sometimes and that's unhelpful? Well, the right welcomes you. And that's the problem. This is how fascists win. And this is the thing. It's a feedback loop of, you see leftist spaces, and especially a lot of younger leftists, like I'm talking teenagers, right? And then you have like older leftists, you know, and like my age and then like older, that have this like, I don't give a shit about anyone else vibe. Jesus fuck. What do you mean believe everything the media... I was reading a story of someone dying, Janez, and then I was talking about how I know family members that are dying. That was what I was doing. I read the article because I wanted to talk about how I know people that are dying of this. That's why I covered it. Shut the fuck up. You are garbage. You are slime. You are dumpster sludge. You are shit on my shoes. I'm not even going to read your second message. You fucking garbage can man? Or woman? Man just rhymes, so, you know. Jesus Christ. It's just ridiculous, these people. But yeah, I want to talk about this. This is something I want to actually just spend a minute and let me ramble about this. All right? I'm going to ramble about this, so hear me out. This is why the left loses. I know, I'm doing it. I know, I swore to myself I'd never do this. I swore to myself I would never do this, right? But here I am. Here I am. I'm finally doing it. This is why the left loses, everybody. Are you ready? Oh, man. Oh, okay. So this is why the left loses. Okay. So, no, I have not left the left. No. I'm not leaving the left. No. You're good. Don't worry about me. But, responding to the chat. I'm going to clip this and upload this. I'm responding to the chat, though. I guess I should just throw the chat on screen. Fuck it. I'm just going to throw the chat on screen for this one. I don't know how long this is going to take. So I'm just going to do that. Give me a sec. Okay, the chat doesn't work. Okay. All right. That works. Wait a second. Alternate strategy. Hold up. Alternate strategy. There we go. Fun fact, by the way, I use live split for my segment times. Just throwing that out there. Little fun fact. All right, so let me reset this. So I'm going to do it. I'm making a video. Oof, I'm so sorry. This is why the left loses. Now, this is my live stream chat. There's some cringers here. Beware. But I want to illustrate a problem in the left. I've been yelling on my show for the past hour. This show is usually an hour, and now we're approaching 2 hours because I got triggered. So I want to like try to summarize my thoughts from my trigger fest. Now that I've got a little bit of little bit of cannabis in the system going through the bloodstream, calming me out, right? I see a trend in leftist spaces that, and this goes to the vote shaming thing, and it's extremely annoying. I live in a swing state and I voted for Joe Biden, I understand. Joe Biden is bad. I started my show during the primary, and you can go back and you can watch all of my videos that I made during the primary about how bad Joe Biden is. I know how bad Joe Biden is. I am fully aware about how bad Joe Biden is. But I am a trans woman. I have seen what Donald Trump's administration has done to people like me. People I know have lost access to health care as a result of Trump administration rules. And luckily, it has not happened to me yet, but if a Trump second term occurs, I am more than confident that my life will be affected by that. So that is first and foremost, okay? But I don't feel the need that I should have to explain that. Trump is extremely bad for minorities. He is extremely bad. I get it. Biden is also bad. Again, you can go back and watch. Like, that's the beauty of YouTube, is you can go watch a video I made in January, or February, or March, or April, or May, or even yesterday. I make anti-Biden videos all the time, right? But you can go back and watch. I know everything. Okay? I already know. But on the off chance that Joe Biden will not take away healthcare protections for transgender people at the rate that the Donald Trump administration has, just for the off chance. That, I think, is reason enough to vote for Joe Biden. But you see this contingent of people that are vote shaming, Biden voting swing voters, right? Now, I get it. I understand, right? The Bernie bro thing was so annoying, but let's be honest. Let's be clear about this, and let's be honest. You are a Bernie bro in every single sense of the term that Hillary Clintoners, Joe Bideners, and K-hivers have been saying, and Warren people and Yang people, they all went with the Bernie bro thing. And I think that that was mostly fictitious in the primary. But if you ever think, and this is something I've seen on Twitter, this is one example, but I know a lot of people chime in on this. There have been a lot of people posting like TikTok videos, like teenagers, like 19, 20-year-olds, like 18-year-olds that are first time voting, right? And they vote for Joe Biden. I've seen them do like little TikTok dances, and I've seen leftist Twitter accounts with 10,000 followers tweet about how dumb they are and how stupid they are and how evil they are. These like random TikTok teens that are excited to vote for the first time. And then you have like this 10K follower Twitter account, and then all of a sudden this tweet has like thousands and thousands of retweets, and then like 100,000 follower Twitter accounts start tweeting about it, right? You see the former press secretary, and I'm not trying to be a bitch here. I'm really not. But you see the former press secretary of the Bernie campaign, like some of these tweets, and I'm really not trying to be a bitch here. But I want to underscore this. And I want to give a quote from Michael Brooks that I thought is my favorite quote of his. You need to be ruthless to institutions and be kind to people. When you make a tweet about how dumb and stupid and how ugly a 19-year-old who does a dance on TikTok for her like 200 followers is, you are being a Bernie bro. You are being a depressed, angsty, curmudgeonly dude bro loser. And yes, it doesn't matter. I understand that Joe Biden is bad. I get it. I understand. And if you vote for Howie Hawkins, I don't care. We can have a strategic discussion and agree to disagree. I'm going to be honest, I think 80% of my friends that are in America are voting third party. Most of my friends that I talk to in politics are voting third party, and we get along just fine. But there is a contingent of people out there that want to preemptively attack other people because they perceive themselves being attacked when it comes to the vote shame argument. And I get it. It's a learned behavior from the primary season. I understand. I'm right there with you. I voted for Jill Stein in 2016. There's my credentials for you. Right? And I'm not even really looking at the chat here. I'm sorry. I don't know why the chat's even on screen. But, I mean, I figure something to look at. I don't know. I see mostly dullards are speaking. Shut the fuck up, Skeptical Mantis. Come on. Dude, I am talking to you. I am talking to you. You are like the quintessential person I am talking to in this chat room. What Malcolm X said was that we need to achieve equality by any means necessary. That is saying, yes, we may vote. But if you do not do what we want, that's hence ballot or bullet. We get what we want via the ballot, or we go to the bullet. That is what that is. Does that mean we shouldn't vote? No. That means if we vote and we don't get what we want, we should act. And again, we do not have we couldn't win the primary. Yes, I think Democrats cheated. Yes, I think that they rigged that shit. Yes, Obama fucking calling up everyone, making them drop out. Garbage. I fucking hate them all. Okay? I'm right there with you. Okay? But if you think us not being able to win an overwhelming win in a primary? Like, you think we're going to revolt against the U.S. government? Like, what, tomorrow? Because if you want me to vote third party, right, in a swing state, I live in a swing state, or not vote at all, you need to tell me how this is going to happen in, like, the next 6 months. Otherwise, other things are going to start happening that might affect me more. Like, again, my healthcare protections being taken, right? So I'm just going to turn this chat off. This chat is just... y'all are just fucking dumb. I'm sorry. But the people in this stream, I'm sorry. But I can't stand you fucking people right now. I'm just going to close this. It's too distracting. If you can't tell me, like, if you want to show me, like where I go and sign up for this militia that we're building to overthrow the government, I'll listen. But if you can't tell me, like, a 6-month, or maybe let's stretch it to a year, maximum, a year, when we can start getting some shit done, if you can't give me that strategy, then don't talk down to me for voting for Joe Biden. And that is my message here. Because, and this goes back to the thing I was saying earlier on why the left loses. When the left loses, and the reason why I brought my chat on screen was because Trumpers were doing this whole, like, character. When the left fractures, the right will always try to profit from it. Why do you keep seeing all these grifters like Tim Pool or Dave Rubin for high-profile ones, but you see a lot of low-profile ones? I know a lot of people on a personal level that went this direction too, that left the left. Because usually those things start when people have an argument with someone on the left, right? And then they just, like, are a crybaby and they don't really care about leftist principles that much. Typically these people are white men, right? So, they will just, like, then a right-winger will say, like, yeah, the left sucks. And then they'll agree and they'll go, like, damn right. And then they make friends. And then they become friends with a fascist. And then the fascist starts leading them into fascism. And all of a sudden, they've canceled themselves on the left. They have no leftist friends. And then they've got right-wing friends. And at the end of the day, a lot of people, and again, mostly cis white men, because their lives aren't, like, on the line, like, that's why you see, like, something like, an astounding amount of minorities would never even think about voting for Trump for that reason, right? But, like, they're easily led astray because humans, fundamentally, we are social creatures. We want friends, we want community. And this goes with families, right? Where, like, say, like, the father, the patriarch of a family is a hardcore Trump supporter, right? And the kids aren't really politically educated. They're all going to vote for Trump because it's a family dynamic. It's about community. And the right has somehow, even though their policy prescriptions are so heinous, been able to bring so many people over to the right. Now, do I think it's a significant portion? Do I think it's a portion that matters at the end of the day? I'm not sure. Right? But that mentality, that effect, keeps and keeps and keeps happening. And I find it very distressing. And I think there's this whole big thing about leftist unity, right? In this political media sphere that I capture myself in, that I'm going to participate in the discourse of. How can we have any form of unity if I was on Twitter today, this morning, saying that I voted for Joe Biden, and a leftist who calls themselves a communist in their bio, like, unfollowed me, spammed me with, like, 6 trivial pursuit things about Joe Biden's crime bill that I already knew, that I cover extensively, right? And then, like, just, like, blocked me. And I've had that interaction happen many, many times, right? And it's just like, what the fuck? What? What kind of human being does that? Like, it's bizarre to me. It's strange. And that kind of hyper, like, selective behavior, I think, is problematic. I think it is problematic. If you're going to participate in public discourse, you should behave in a certain way. If you have like a Discord server or like an email list, right? If you're like older, you know, and you want to talk shit, fine, fuck it. If you want to post a teenager dancing on TikTok about voting for Joe Biden and say that's cringe, and then like, you know, your 6 friends will say LMAO or lol, whatever. But if you're going to participate in something like YouTube discourse, like that's the field that I'm in, or Twitter discourse, or fucking like journalistic, you know, like getting on TV and have like, you know, all these kind of, because some of these people that have these bizarre opinions get on TV and embarrass us. I've seen Jimmy Dore embarrass us many times, right? Maybe that's why he keeps getting on Fox News. But, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for that. I know there's going to be a certain contingent that get triggered right now. But my thing is like the idea that we're so atomized in this country, and this goes on like not just in a left way, but everyone is so atomized. We're afraid of people. And for a lot of minorities, it's learned behavior. We learned that. We learned to behave this way. It's a trauma response. That's what it is. And I understand that. But like, we need to try to learn to help one another and like tolerate one another. And especially when it comes to this election, the idea that there's people that like I would interact with for 6 months on Twitter during the primary, and then now they're just all of a sudden they block me on everything because I said I voted for Biden. I still agree that Biden's terrible, but I voted for him because I live in a swing state. And the fact that like that's I don't know, man. It's distracting first and foremost. And it's just dumb. It's stupid as shit. It's so dumb. And I just wanted to pontificate on that for a little bit. So thank you for bearing with me. Today is a long episode. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just here. I'm pontificating. That's exactly what I'm doing. That's legit exactly what I'm doing. I'm just pontificating. That's the thing. Antifa is unstoppable. During the VP debates, when it was like, who's going to be the VP? I actually kind of wanted Kamala Harris as a VP. Just because I already knew everything about her. Whereas, like, I don't know, like, you know, Susan Rice that well. Right? Like, I'd have to look into her a little bit more. Kamala Harris, I know her faults. So when she's running, and she's going to try to be a lefty, like, year 1, I'm going to say, fuck you. Right? That's my thing. I think we should try to build unity on specific action strategies, short-term and long-term. Don't bother with left unity because left and right are too ambiguous. I agree with that, Skeptical Mantis. I agree with that right there. That's why I think protests are such an important thing. We should be going to these protests, meeting people, say, hey, what's your number? Let's, create an email list of everyone you meet at a protest. Create like a text group, or a Discord server or something. Stay connected. That way, let's say someone in that group, let's say you get 300 people in that email list or text group or whatever. Right? Let's say that happens. Then, let's say someone's being evicted. And they send out an email blast or a text blast. And all those friends in that text group, go to that event. That's 300 people. Let's say 10% of them do. Let's say 10% of them do and then, bring a friend. That's a lot of people. They can get shit done. They can create a scene. They can buy a family some time to pack up their belongings, to get their things that they need, to just have a place to sleep. Because maybe the cops will give up for another day or two. Right? That strength there needs to be built first and foremost. That is what left unity should be. Right there. Dude, the dullards in this chat room right now, I'm saying all this profound stuff, and the only people talking in the chat room are literal fucking like headless chickens, just like frantically running around doing pre-programmed functions. Jesus Christ. Oh, I gotta start writing a book or something. I'm too up my own ass now. I gotta start writing books. Yeah, I know WT serves. I know. I'm just like, I just look at the chat, like I glance at it, and the first thing I see is a dullard. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean. I'm just fucking around, but. Skeptical Mantis. I remember one leftist was saying we need to get out the movement and into masses. The movement is tiny. Most people aren't political. We should... Yes. Yes. Because that's the thing. The Bernie campaign was cool and all. But let's say, after 2016, alternate history here. So the 2016 election happens as, and that's like our anchor point in reality. So the 2016 election, general, that's our anchor point. And then instead of, everyone just going back to normal until the 2020 Bernie campaign, imagine if we started organizing. Imagine if we started these 2020 like uprising protests, like 3 years ago. And we had these communications, and we built these text lists and these email lists, and we built these connections, and we had these groups and organizations. And then Bernie 2020 comes around. And then we have an organization that, stopped evictions, right? And we have an organization that, housed homeless people. And we had an organization that fed poor people. And they all and they all had like a large, share, like let's say 30% of the city is in that organization or something. That has a lot of sway in a primary election, right? Like that has a lot of sway. So like if we were to have done that and then used the leverage of those groups to endorse Bernie full-throatedly, that would have changed things. And then we could have maybe had some electoral gains. And that's what I hope we do fucking this time. You need to have... This is one of the things that I know, a little piece of trivia about 2008, was there were a lot of outside organizations that were funding and advertising and promoting the Obama campaign for general president. And when the election happened and he won, they were trying to dismantle those groups and funnel all their funds to their shit, like the DCCC and don't give money to this independent organization from West Virginia tenant union. No. Don't spread money evenly throughout them and whatever. It's just give it all to us and then we'll spend it on we'll distribute the money. We'll be the middleman. We'll do that work. We'll figure out who the best place is. And then they just usurp the power, right? And then those groups kind of fell to the wayside for a couple years. And that's what happened after 2016 as well. But it wasn't nefarious. It was just that people didn't do anything. Well, there are people that did. Yeah, no, I'm just saying people didn't do enough. We didn't do enough. And I hope we do enough next time. Tony Mario, we are doing that. Leftists are doing that. It's just we're not doing it enough. There are a lot of great organizations that are doing this kind of stuff. So you can get your little Trump NPC talking points. You can go shove that shit up your asshole, buddy. Because you are not qualified to be in this conversation. You must be this tall to ride this ride, intellectually speaking. Tony Mario, and if you're supporting Trump, you're not tall enough. I'm sorry. You got to hit another growth spurt or two. Anyway, can I get some feedback here? Because I'm thinking about stopping this. I don't know why I decided to stream so long. I'm just in this mood, right? So what are we thinking here? What's the takeaway? Steal the other people's money? Yeah, amnesia. That's been going on since 1492. Yep. We steal it. Like, that's the capitalist playbook. We steal their land. We steal their money. And then we say, all right, capitalism starts now. And then, like, when people are like, wait a second, can we have our land back? And they're like, what? No, capitalism started there. What are you talking about? It's this thing they love to do where they start the movie in the middle and then review the entire movie. Primitive accumulation, man. That shit cannot be undone. There are no reparations that exist that can undo the damage of that shit, man. Tony Mario, who are you talking about? Dude, these dullards, dude. I love the dullards, man. I low-key hope that some of you, after the Trump administration is over, that some of you get your shit together. I really do. I really do. I have faith that a couple of you will. That's why I like talking to y'all. I want to keep y'all in this bubble. Man, though, I think we're fucked. I really do. I really think we're fucked. I'm trying to figure out a way, like, I think that there's going to be so much violence next month. Like, I've been saying this whole month is I think October is going to be the last relatively stable month that we have for a long time. Like maybe January or maybe February was with the coronavirus. Right? I think that we're going to end, like, I think this election is going to be a disaster. I think there's, I'm so scared, dude. I'm sorry. I'm really fucking freaked out. Check out Telesur News Wrap yesterday, a classic. Every South American country still dealing with the descendants of conquistadors, trying to keep the Indians in quotes down, and it's 2020. I know, dude, it's ridiculous. Dusty Scarlet, I've been saying this for fucking months, Mud. I don't know if it's going to escalate to the level of a civil war. I doubt it. But terrorism is terrorism. People dying is people dying. A civil war is just like an abstract buzzword. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, you know, like pillow. The word pillow. When you think of the word pillow, you think, I don't know, like something you rest your head on, like a pillow, squishy, comfortable. When you think Civil War, what do you think of? Like, your first thought would be like the North and South fighting over slavery in the 19th century, or that's not going to happen. But could there be civil unrest? There's already civil unrest. People are already dying. In 5 years from now, are we going to look back at this moment and say, oh yeah, we were already in a civil war in October of 2020? Are we going to say that like May 27th or 28th was like Bastille Day in this fucking like 5-10 year revolutionary period in that future time, like in past that? I don't know. We could. Right? But I don't think it's going to be at the level of a North and South or two federal, like, I don't think states are going to secede. It's not going to be like the American Civil War. And so whenever people talk about Civil War, they will automatically try to compare it to the American Civil War. It will not be like that. It will not be like that. Sophia Martinez in the chat says, I think of Libya. I don't know much about Libya, unfortunately. But I would think of like in the abstract of like war in a sense of like more like the Revolutionary War in the USA, right? But the implication with Civil War, the implication of Civil War is that there's going to be like two equal sides, or like that like real Americans are going to stand it, right? Like that. And that's the scary part, is because that incites it. Because it tells those people, well, Antifas are going to come for me, so I'm going to stand up and fight for my country. And that's how you get people like Kyle Rittenhouse. Of course I'm scared of war, Sudan. Of course. Everyone should be a fucking afraid of war and terrorism and death. Being desensitized to death is tragic. That's like extremely toxic masculinity. It's like, I've seen 89 people die. You need to get over it. Like, no. Fuck that. Every person that dies should be mourned with the same weight. But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more terrorism. We're seeing it all over. Where was it? Where was the most recent one? Like Denver? Okay, let me rephrase that. Terrorism. You're going to see more political violence ending in death. I should have rephrased that. I'm sorry. I'm a little high, so give me a second. But you're going to see a lot of that. The most recent shooting I remember is in Denver. There was, I know, one in Pennsylvania. There's, the famous now one in Portland, where the perpetrator there was assassinated by the U.S. government extrajudicially and unconstitutionally. Which, by the way, why aren't more people talking about fucking Michael Ryanel? That situation is... Could that, like 10 years from now? Could that 10 years from now be like, yep, that's when the federal government first waged war on the citizenry? I don't know. That could be. Let's say Trump wins the second term. And that, like, he got away with that assassination. He wins the second term. He feels emboldened. He goes after other activist leaders. The FBI is tracking them on lists. He was posting wanted posters on his Twitter, Donald Trump. I am Sudan, you're a fucking moron? Shut the fuck up. Seriously, I'm tired of your stupid fucking bullshit. I want millions of innocent people to die because the government of another country did something. Shut the fuck up. You're not edgy. You're not cool. You're an idiot. We can all wish ill on the federal government of the United States for its crimes. We can all wish ill on those that perpetrated those crimes, but to want to kill the weakest people in the weakest cities where this civil war will break out, that is ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous. Admit? Primitive Archer, how fucking stupid are you? Which one? Cotton balls? I did a couple recently. I saw your debate with that religious dude. Pretty disturbing stuff. But now I know where you're coming from and what you mean by they want to get me killed. I know, they legit want to kill me. I know, that's the thing, Fun Police. Like, I've been, since the very first moment, highly critical of Michael Ryanel in that situation. But the government assassinating him makes him a martyr. Maybe not a hero, but a martyr. At the very least, a martyr. And that, I just... They're just doing it. They're just doing it. Primitive Archer, I'm not debating you. We can do that later. I'm not in the mood for your dumb bullshit. I want to have, like, more intelligent conversations. No offense. Well, actually, yes. Offense intended, but I'm sorry. We are the U.S. of Israel now? What do you mean by that? Got some messages on Discord. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Dude, I don't know, man. I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I don't really know what's going on right now. So, just kind of chilling. I don't know, I'm probably not going to do something like this tomorrow. So I'm just throwing that out there. That's probably not going to happen. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm really afraid for the future. I'm really afraid. Fascism is not equivalent to anti-Semitism, and it's not equivalent to German fascism. Fascism is a system of governance. When you synonymize fascism with Adolf Hitler, that's how you become a Trump supporter. Because it can't happen here. Trump literally is not Hitler. He doesn't have the same hairstyle, therefore they're not fascists. That's how you become a Trump supporter. Well, Japan, for one, I would argue Brazil is definitely on its way. Bolivia just had a year of fascism. We literally had 1 year of fascist rule in Bolivia. Theoretically is ending due to the recent elections. But Bolivia was absolutely a fascist country for a year-ish, right? They were killing protesters, murdering indigenous people. It was ridiculous what they were doing in Bolivia over the last year. Shut the fuck up, Steve Cox. You're an idiot. You could argue that the Chinese system of governance could break for straight fascism at any point, or already has. But honestly, I don't know enough about China for that one. But I do not know what Plan Colombia was. Dude, I like free speech too much to do anything about this, man, but oh, the dullards really are just like annoying. You know what I mean? Like the dullards are just fucking annoying. Oh. Like that's the thing, is like I'm saying all this stuff, and when I say this stuff, the way I speak, I have the assumption that the people listening to what I say will understand English enough and understand like the facts of the world and history enough. And maybe I should elaborate more on historical examples in my speech, maybe. But I assume that people listening will get what I'm saying, or at least be able to fill in the blanks. Right? That's what my assumption is. But for the Trumpers to watch a stream of this, like, it really, like, it relies, like, and this is what's so dangerous about propaganda. Like, the USA is one of, if not the most propagandized countries in the world on its own people. The thing with propaganda is you make them think they're living in a different reality. So you tell them that socialism is fascism. You just tell them that, but then you tie it to, like, the Pledge of Allegiance. And then it's like, oh, well, to think fascism and socialism are identical is to be a pro-patriot American. And then, boom, successfully propagandized, will be a useful idiot for the government's evil plans at any point. And they've just been, they're programmed. Successful program. Like Primitive Archer here is a successfully programmed robot. The puppet became a real boy. Yes. Or I guess the other way around. Jesus. Primitive Archer, I explained this to you yesterday, dude. Go back and watch our debate from yesterday. I'm sorry. I'm not wasting time on that. I'm sorry. I won't. I won't. I refuse. I did answer yesterday. And this goes back to the thing, it's like, Primitive Archer just doesn't... Like, Primitive Archer also said in our conversation yesterday that they just don't believe in starving children. They just don't believe in them. Starving children, never heard of it. No such thing. Like, that massive disconnect in, like, the basic agreed upon facts of the world that we all live in collectively, that sheer and brazen disregard for like objective reality there, it creates a situation where these people, I can explain to them in intimate detail something and they will pretend like I said nothing because they just don't get it. They just don't get it. And it looks like we got another dullard. Hello, James Sargent. A communist decrying American patriots as fascists doesn't carry much weight. I don't care. Like, again, it goes back into what you understand about the English language and history. Not many people are that well read on history. I'm not that well read, and I'm more well read than I would say 90% of Americans. I would say I'm more well read on history than. But I haven't even cracked the surface on a bunch of stuff. But I remember like a couple years ago knowing nothing about the world that I lived in. And that's the world that most people live in. Like I have parents. They don't know shit. They don't know what was going on in the government during I'm not trying to pick on, my parents or anything. But they don't know shit that was going on in the government when they were just living, when it wasn't history to them, when they were just they just didn't read the news. Like most Americans just don't read the news. They don't read the news. They certainly don't read history. Like if you're going to read news, why read news from 100 years ago, right? And most Americans just don't know anything. And it sucks. And I don't know anything, and I want to know more. And it sucks that it's so difficult to find consensus on so many things. That's where it creates this the difficulty to find consensus on facts of history also creates this divide where people can say, yeah, people can say the Democratic Party founded the KKK, therefore they are still racist. People think that because it's a disagreement on facts of history. And I emphasize facts because there is one side. The Republican Party and Democratic Party switched throughout the 20th century. Those are the facts. But if you see people just say oh, I read my history. I did the research. I did the research, right? They're just going to fucking, Democrat Party, KKK, and slavery. Guess they're still racist. I mean, they were elected. There's a poll done in 2006. In 2006, a poll of Americans, a supermajority of Americans, thought that the Republican Party was to the left of the Democratic Party on race in 2006. It wasn't until the 2008 election where the Democrats nominated a black man. It wasn't until they nominated a black man that a supermajority of Americans realized that Republicans are actually the racist ones. That's fucking incredible. It's incredible. It's incredible. And you see the reverberations of stuff like that. James Sargent, who are you talking to? Are you talking to me? Because if so, what are you talking about? Democrats are racist, yes. But there's a difference between Republican racism and Democrat racism. It's a spectrum thing. Like, it's not, I'm not saying it's a binary, racist or non-racist. It's to the left on race, to the right on race. Pork Chop Express 07. I agree with you. I don't know much about Bosnia or Yugoslavia, but I agree with you. I would say at least in the last like 10 years with like school shootings, because this is something, right? This is something. It's like school shooters lay the groundwork for so much of these right-wing terror attacks. Like the idea that, oh yeah, you can just go to a school and murder fucking children. Like fucking 10-year-olds, right? You can just go do that. And no one will stop you. You just go do it. Right? So when people realize how easy that is, and then they've got like this fucking far-right agenda, then you look at an extreme, like the Christchurch, New Zealand situation. You don't think that guy was studying all these, like, you know, starting from like shit like Columbine, right? You don't think that that guy was looking in to how those people were caught? You don't think that guy was studying? Of course they were. James Sargent, I have no idea who you're talking to. So we're going to have like a reset here, because I have no idea what the hell you're saying. An incel shooting? Yeah, this is totally... Like, the idea that there's not as much violence as there is shocking, considering how much violence there already has been. It's shocking. But, I don't know. It's shocking. I think if someone thinks that communism and Soviet Union are synonymous, I think that they're stupid. And this goes back into another thing where it's like they played Trivial Pursuit at a Turning Points USA meeting and learned that like Stalin was a pretty bad guy. And so as a result, they think, oh yeah, well, communism must be terrible, right? It's like, it's just ridiculous. It's so stupid. It's like, it's so small-brained. It really is, man. Alright, James. Alright, bud. No one is saying that except for you. Alright, bud. Whatever. No one's saying it except for you. Oh, these people are fucking ridiculous, man. I just like, it really sucks that it's like, we are so fucking atomized as a culture. That like, again, you have people that believe in like alternate history. Like people that would treat like you're on the same level as people that like would watch Ancient Aliens on the History Channel and think it's all factual. Like, that's how easily you folks are fucking misled. Like, okay, so the Soviet Union was a terrible, like, had terrible institutions and terrible leaders. That automatically means that poor people shouldn't have health care? Like, because the Soviet Union had terrible leadership, homeless people shouldn't have houses? I don't see the translation. I'm playing communism in your bed. That doesn't mean anything. That's why these people are just so ridiculous. Like, they speak, and this is why they're so, this is like, when I was talking to Primitive Archer yesterday, and this is something I was really thinking about. Primitive, you made a lasting impression. Your ability to unironically, at the age of 32 years old, say that you simultaneously believe every human has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and then also say that I should be in jail for having a flag on my wall. The cognitive dissonance there really sheds a lot of light on the way that right-wingers and Trump supporters understand the English language. Like, just understand basic speech. Think about this. I want everyone who's not a dullard in this chat to think about this. Right? Just like, I really want to, this is stuff I think about. I'm trying to give you some knowledge here, alright? Right? So, the ability for them to think that every human has the right to liberty in life. But if you dislike Adolf Hitler, you should go to prison. Their understanding of the English language, right? They don't know what the words life mean. They don't know what liberty means. They don't know what the pursuit of happiness means. Those are words, empty platitudes that have no meaning. You might as well say, I like good things and I hate bad things. That's what it boils down to on the Republican side, is I like good things, I dislike bad things. That's all it is. And I want you to understand that. These people don't have like serious, nuanced analyses of the world, of history, of things happening. A lot of these people probably don't read the news. They're just like, they search fucking whatever and they just found this live stream and they're just watching it to troll because they're stupid, right? But it's like, they don't give a fuck about the world at all. Whereas like me, like maybe I spend like 3 hours a day just reading news and stuff. And that just keeps me way more informed than these people. And so like and just reading in general, right? Like again, if you can fall privy to basic shit, like abstract platitudes like, I believe in good things such as life and liberty, and I don't believe in bad things such as slavery. Like, if you can say that, and then apply that logic to communism is bad, I just, what? Like, what do you think communism is? Communism is a horizontal power structure where no one is homeless, no one is sick when someone else is hoarding medicine, no one has 15 yachts and 38 mansions when other people are living in shacks. Communism is the idea that we all work together, help each other, and help one another. If we all stopped fighting each other, building nuclear fucking bombs and guns and all that stupid bullshit, and we invested all that time and energy into scientific study, like in medicine, we could start that today from a binary. If we started communism tomorrow and then just went for like 30 years, I feel like we could stop aging. I feel like we could colonize Mars. I feel like we could fucking colonize Titan or something. Like, if we just started from like tomorrow and we all just got our shit together, right? If we all just did that and started working on helping each other and exploring the universe and figuring things out, things would be so much better. But instead you've got dullards that are like, yeah, I want to nuke China. Yeah, I want to assassinate the world leaders of countries I dislike. Yeah, I'll just say that out loud. Why not? Yeah, I think the government should kill people I disagree with. Like, the way that they're just so flippant about saying that people should die. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to say that people I have slight disagreements with on policy should die. Or if they die, that I don't care. That's ridiculous. Come on, y'all. Be nice to each other. I don't know, man. I'm just fucking... I'm like really fucking high right now. And I'm just like going. This is easily the longest show I've ever done. And that's cool. I don't know. How do y'all like this like free flow? Maybe I should do this more? Maybe I should. I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't know if I'd give it a format name. Just like, I don't know. James Sergeant. I don't know what to tell you. You're just a hateful person. You just like violence. That's cool. I like violence in video games and cartoons. But if you can't grasp the subject of, like, instead of investing trillions of dollars on nuclear weapons to kill each other, and if we invested that time and energy into scientific research and medicine to help one another, to help us live longer, to help us find ways of renewable energy that don't hurt the planet, stuff like that. If you can't get on board with that basic explanation, then I don't know. Come back to me in a couple years and maybe you picked up some new words or something. Maybe you'll have new words in English to figure out those concepts, you know? Again, if you knew what that word meant, James, Sergeant, a communist telling someone else that they love violence. Communism is all about peaceful people living in a community, right? Working together and helping one another. If you've ever been to communes, typically they're like very nice people. They like sit around, like eat mushrooms, smoke weed, and then just like meditate all day. Those are communists, dude. Think of like a hippie or something. I just don't, if you understand, and this goes back into the language thing. Community. Communicate. Those are good things. Communicate, community. Those are good. You want to contribute to the community. You want to be a part of a community. Those are good things, right? Communism. Oh my god! Like, if you had any basic understanding of words, of basic like etymology and linguistics, you would understand that communism is not synonymous with the Soviet Union's government. That communism is a word and an abstract political ideology. And if you were to look into that, you would see the ideology is about communicating in a community communitarian, all these other words. If you knew those words and you knew basic ways to figure out the etymology of words and you knew like roots and everything, if you had a basic understanding of the English language, you keep saying 100 million people dead and you keep saying gulags. That's Soviet Union bullshit, James. You haven't even once talked about communes, commune lifestyle, worker co-ops. You haven't talked about them at all because you don't know what communism is. I feel like cotton balls and pork chops should get along. Unless they're just memeing. That's my official weigh-in. Also, hello, Mr. Freak Glitcher. Yeah, I don't know. I'm in the mood. James Surgent, if you want to start over, communism is a society with a horizontal power structure where people work together to help build a society that helps one another. We don't kill each other. We don't steal from one another. Why? Because all of our basic needs are met. We don't have to. That's the idea. We're going into like a fucking... Like, I think it's something like 30 or 40% of jobs that were lost in this pandemic are not coming back, and they're going to be replaced by automation. Like, once people don't need people to work for them, we're going to see a lot more unrest, I guess. Primitive Archer. Again, you are synonymizing, thinking that Marx and communism is synonymous, that they're the same thing, that a human being and all of his books are the definition of communism. No, communism itself is an abstract ideology where people live in a peaceful, stateless, classless, horizontally power-structured society where we help each other. That is communism. Now, you can say that the Soviet Unions have an interpretation of communism that is bad. You can say that Marx has an interpretation of communism that is bad. You can say all this and that. All right? I can agree or disagree, but you can say those. But you cannot say that communism is bad unless you are simultaneously saying that, yes, I don't think poor people should have health care, and yes, I do think homeless people should die on the streets, and yes, I do think sick people should not get health care, and yes, I do think immigrants should, be denied and deported because they were born in the country when they were 2 and not 0 or whatever. If you actually think that, then yeah, you're a fascist, and no wonder you dislike communism. But if you can't understand what communism is, we can't even begin to have a real conversation. Of course the state shouldn't control media. Communism is a stateless society. Hello? Again, they don't know. They've never Googled the word. Google the word once in your life. Whenever I learn a new word, I Google it. First thing I do. And I read all the different definitions and the variations. When I first learn a new word, what does that mean, the party? I don't like parties. What is this fucking bullshit? I quoted someone who called themselves a communist. Communism debunked. What? 1984, wait for it, was written by, wait for it, a communist. 1984 was written by a communist. Dude. It's so bad. These people, again, they Oh, it's so stupid. They just don't know basic words. They just don't know them. Can you send a link to me on that, Fun Police, on like my email or something? Primitive Archer, do you actually think that? Like, you were able to read a whole book and think that? Exactly, King of Badgers. They can only think in everything I dislike is all the same. Like, that's why it's like, oh, you're a leftist? You must be a soy boy vegan, tranny, pansexual, like, furry. Oh, man, like, they do all these weird jokes that aren't funny. And it's like, what? Everything I dislike is all the same. And everyone I dislike is everything I dislike. And they project. And that's the core fundamental thing of the projection from right-wingers, is they project all of their dislikes on everyone that we can maybe agree that poor people should have health care. But, like, you dislike something else about me, so you're willing... Like, Skeptical Mantis comes in here, and we agree on, like, 98% of things, and then I say I'm going to vote for Biden in a swing state, and they automatically call me, like, a liberal MSNBC person. And it's like, what? Like, that's, like, a very reactionary trope that is also very common in right-wing circles. If we live in a stateless society in America, who would set foreign policy? That's kind of the point, dude. What is foreign policy? The UN? What is the UN? If we lived in a communist society, there is no UN. There is no foreign policy. You'd have like shit like trade. You just trade. Maybe have like rail lines, coordinate that stuff. What do you mean foreign policy? We're not occupying. That's bullshit, like civilization bullshit. We're not occupying or colonizing. We don't have military bases in every other country. What the fuck, foreign policy? I don't want communism in America. I want communism globally. I want every person to be able to be themselves without fear of death. Damn right, I'm a globalist. If I were an American nationalist, I would have to hide the fact and not be able to acknowledge that Americans and white people, throughout centuries of primitive accumulation, stole all the gold from Latin America, stole lithium from all over the South America. There's a lot of crucial elements that are only found in mines in Africa. Are the African people living in luxury? No. They are still to this day being taken advantage of. And all of these cool things are going to make gadgets in China and sweatshops of people being abused to make cheap things so that they can sell them back to America at a higher rate. And then Americans buy new ones every 6 months. I need a new iPhone every 6 months. And they buy them and make these giant corporations this shitload of profit. Yes, I'm a globalist. Of course. We live in a global society. We all need to work together. Primitive Archer, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, again, speak fucking English, dude. These people are ridiculous. None, James Sergeant. That's why it's the goal. I can't do anything. I'm a fucking poor bitch. I live in a rural town. What am I gonna do? I do what I can. But sure, when I have my free time, I'll have a YouTube channel. I'll say my opinions. Fuck that shit. No one person should lead the revolution just because they have big ideas. Like, hello? It's ridiculous. Dude, there's a pandemic going on. I'm not going to go out there and get a job in a fucking pandemic. I make enough money on this shit. I'm comfortable. I don't need a fucking supplemental income that risks my health. Dude, James Sergeant, you are conflating communism with the Soviet Union again. Nobody gives a fuck about the party. Do you know what this fucking flag in the background is? Do you know what the black part of the flag symbolizes? It symbolizes anarchism, you fucking moron. The built-in acknowledgement of corruption of parties and power. You fucking moron. But again, they don't know basic shit. Basic shit they don't know. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous how fucking uneducated they are. And like again, my thing is like, I know I'm uneducated. I don't know the complete history of the Soviet Union. The fuck? Of course I don't. I know enough to know that I don't like it. Right? But I'm not going to act like I do. And these people, like, again, they play Trivial Pursuit and they memorize like one fun fact and then they let that like apply to like the entire definition of a word that they just don't like for some reason. What? Primitive Archer, I have helped poor people many, many times. What are you implying, that I don't give my money to orgs if I have extra money and stuff like that? I've volunteered at places. Like, hello? What is this, like, fan fiction you're spinning? There's a pandemic, dude. You've watched my videos for like a couple months. There's a pandemic. You think you know my complete biography? What? No country has ever been run by... Okay, and? That's, again, it's aspirational. Hello? Oh, well, people have never washed their hands. What's a germ? What, you mean I have to start washing my hands now? What? What about my liberty? What about germs? Well, what about my liberty? I don't want to wash my hands. We survived for thousands of years without washing our hands. Now all of a sudden you want to tell me to wash my hands? Fuck it. There's all these moments of human history. Slavery. That was the main argument back then. Fuck it. We need slavery. We've always had slavery. Look, there's black people over there. They were enslaving somebody. So that means it's okay when we do it. That was their argument. Everyone does it. It's about being strong. You enslave the weak. They're doing it. We're doing it. Fuck it. Let's just keep doing slavery. Right? Are you fucking... Is the idea of aspirational politics, is that bad? The idea that we can have a better society? It could be better? The idea that there are people dying of diseases that we have cures for? That in raw resources don't cost that much to make, but they're just owned by a certain corporation? And that corporation charges fucking millions of dollars for distributing to like a country or whatever? And they've just got the market by the balls. They just occupied the entire market. They monopolized it. I think that that's heinous. That's evil. This is a failed civilization. We have failed. Hello, Thorman. Tessera, why would anyone study their ass off for 10 years to become a surgeon, for example, when they are compensated the same as someone who was a stop slope? What does that mean, compensated the same? That's this idea, again, you are promoting, if you're just a selfish piece of shit, whatever, you're a selfish piece of shit. But think about your selfishness here. Think about this. Would you rather have, let's say you were a billionaire, right? Would you rather be a billionaire and have everyone else be poor? Or would you rather be, let's say, a millionaire and everyone's a millionaire? I would rather the latter. We can equally distribute the wealth and we will all live in luxury. If we equally distributed the wealth to all citizens, we would all live in luxury. We would all live like kings and queens and emperors. But instead, we're homeless. We're starving. What do you mean that would undermine the desire to do something great? You think people only want to do good things for money? What? You people are fucking dumb. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's just dullard. What's the definition of dullard? A stupid or emphasizing unimaginative person. You can't envision a society where people are like, oh shit, we can all have millions and millions and millions of dollars? And all I have to do is hold a stop slow sign? That sounds awesome. You ask why people would be doctors? Why are people doctors now? You think all doctors are only in it for the money? You think that every doctor, I don't really care about saving people's lives. Just want the money, baby. What? There's so many other ways to make money. You think doctors are in it for the money? If we had free schooling and anyone could be educated in whatever subject they wanted to do for their career, we could probably have more doctors because medical school is expensive. Communist countries are known. You know how many people have died in Vietnam from coronavirus? Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. 0. I don't know how to do that. 0. Look at Cuba. What was Cuba doing? Cuba was sending their doctors internationally to Italy, to Spain, and even, to Canada. They couldn't go to America, though, because Cuba bad. And they were helping Italy, Spain, Canada, right? They were helping them with their pandemic situation because they were better equipped and they combated their own virus quicker because they had that communistic style control. Do I think they're reporting real numbers? I think Vietnam is reporting real numbers. I have no reason to doubt them. China had less cases than New York City. No, absolutely not. Hey, Bats, I'm still here, bud. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know what's happening right now. Yeah, I don't agree with China. I know enough about China not to trust them. If you want to send me some articles of Vietnamese corruption to prove that Vietnamese numbers can't be trusted, okay. We agree on China. We're not talking about China. I did. I don't want to see it again. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I got a burst of energy this morning, so. Okay. Okay, they're a pawn. Okay, what about Cuba? Shadow, I expect the government to do a lot of things, and I'm not going to stop fucking at them until they do them. Less specifically the government and more so the rich. I don't care if they won't. If they won't, that's on them. I plan on outliving a lot of the people that aren't. Personally, I plan on outliving them. I think young people younger than me, even. But we've had enough. So I'm 24, so that's where I'm at. We've had enough of this shit. So, and I know a lot younger people are way more radical and way less reasonable than me. And that those are, good things and bad things in a lot of different contexts. So, just throwing that out there. They aren't in opposition, Tessera. I am an anarchist. That means I strive to achieve an anarchist system of governance. Does that mean automatically I can't participate in the current system of governance? What? What? I don't get it. They're not like, how do I reconcile them easily? How would you reconcile? I don't know. Let's just be simple about this. How do you feel about, federal legalizing marijuana? Something like that. Anarchism is equivalent to communism, and that is that it is a stateless, classless society. Now, anarchism is a philosophy, has a more anti-state leaning. However, the goal of being an anarchist is to achieve communism nonetheless. We govern ourselves. Exactly. So we don't have someone in a big castle somewhere saying, you little peasant, you shall not pick that mushroom. All the other mushrooms are wonderful, but that mushroom, no, you can't do that, because I am in my castle on the hill, and I command. Like, no, fuck that shit. No rulers? What's different from a king and a fucking stupid fucking government that has like one party control? It's the same shit. I'm self-educated by life. Most of these Trumpers are functionally illiterate. I know, I was talking about that earlier. They just don't know what these words mean. Trumpers fear knowledge and empathy. They fear it will spread and crush their dreams. I know. It's fear of the abstract, and they refuse to learn. Because they never enter conversations in good faith. That's why they end up asking the same questions over and over and over and over and over again. I don't know what Larkin Rose is. What happens if someone breaks the law? They're held accountable by a court of their peers. Hello? Not right now, Shadow. Personally, if we could be in a society where, let's say, we have a community of 500 people, I would say give every single person a vote on every single court case. Have a jury of the whole community. You have people on every side that are going to properly vet all parties involved. That's their position. That work is delegated to them. There you go. Is it wrong to work hard and build a business and own a home and provide? No, that's great. That's wonderful. That is what everyone should do. What's wrong, right, is you are conflating Amazon with like a mom and pop, like, general store on a city corner. Those are not the same thing. Monopolies and corporate power prevent what you just described from happening. I would love, for example, you know what I would love? I would love to open a card shop. Or like a retro game store. That would be cool. That would be awesome. That's like my big hobby besides politics. Is retro video games. and like cards and stuff, right? That would be cool. But I can't compete with things like Amazon, right? That's not going to happen. So that's not going to happen. But if we had a society that was like, all right, this is my interest, and there's enough people in that society that are like, I like that, but I don't like it enough. I'm like more casually interested in that, but like you're super interested in that. So I wouldn't mind some of our group communal, tax dollars, going for you to open up a little store, on the corner. I don't mind. I would go in, I would, look at things, we can host game nights, like if something you want to do would be beneficial to the community and enough people in that community agree on it, why not? No, I don't like that. I don't think people should live lives that they don't want to live. Just because you're complacent with not following your dreams doesn't mean we are. I want to follow my dream. I want to do what I want to do. Does that mean I won't like try to get there by doing other things that I don't want to do in the meantime? No. But I also want to say like that's the thing. It's just like why is it so hard for people? Like, you don't have political power. Why is it so hard for you to just say like, yeah, everyone should be able to follow their dream? Why is that so hard to you to say? Why are you so unimaginative? You're so scared of aspirations for helping people. It's weird. It's just weird. Like for me, my goal is I don't care how practical it is right now, but I want fully automated luxury communism, and I think that that's attainable by the end of the century, if we played our cards right as a society. Does me wanting that mean I will not take anything else less than that? No, I'll take what I can get. And I'll do my best to make sure I get what closest that I want. That's my participation in the society. Primitive Archer, people cannot help themselves without other people to help them. How did you own a business? Where did you get the car? You're not an individualist, dude. You're not an individualist. Unless you live in the woods and all you took to the woods when you were 1 year old was an axe and you just lived your life in the woods from that point onward. You've benefited from roads, education. You've benefited from inherited wealth from your parents and family. You've benefited from the society where you lived in, where you were born. You benefited from your skin color, your gender. You've benefited from all kinds of things that got you to the place that you are. Not everyone has those same benefits that you do in the society that we live in. You got lucky, in other words. You got lucky. It is a frustrating chat room. We should all embrace the idea that we got to where we are because of each other. I think that it's amazing. I think it's great. Right? Like, I'm able to live the life that I know that I wanted to live now that I probably couldn't 100 years ago because of scientific advancements and treatments. Right? I cherish that. That is amazing. That I was lucky enough to be born at a part in human history where people that lived before me thought, well, what about the people that are growing up 100 years from now? Let's fight for them too. People before me were studying. What's going on about medicine? How do we figure this stuff out? People were studying. Not for themselves. Maybe they wanted to get a nice little poster of them or something. You can have a little bit of ego. But they were mostly doing it to help their family. Maybe their mom had cancer as a kid. And they wanted to try to find a way to treat certain kinds of cancers. Why not let them try? I don't get it. What's so wrong about acknowledging that you benefit from being born where you're born and how you're born. Based on the we don't live in a meritocracy. When you're born, you don't like start from like zero and like it's all like playing a video game, like you just get points. And it's like, oh, poor people just didn't get enough points. They didn't work as hard. No, they didn't have as much growing up in a lot of cases. Or maybe a domino shifted into another direction. And instead of being able to work, hey, maybe they couldn't get a job because, maybe they were disabled. Right? Maybe they just couldn't work at McDonald's because they had a disability. What about them? Should they just die? Should they be homeless and die? Do you not care about them? What if they're a really gifted and talented musician? Right? What if they could be? What if they're a painter? Right? What if they're a scientist? And you're not going to help them because they can't work at McDonald's when they're 14? Oops. Can't work at McDonald's when you're 14 because you're disabled. So now whatever things you're good at, right? We can't benefit from that because I'm a bitch. Okay. That's selfish. And it's disgusting. It's just disgusting. I really don't get why people are so evil. I don't. Like, I think it's just like they were abused as children. I think that's really what it is. They were abused by America, and taught and drilled in, you must hate everyone else and you must step on everyone else and you must shit all over everyone else at all cost. It's just like it's ingrained into them. It's easier. That is true. Pork chop, it's easier. Because when you're evil, or at least you're complacent with evil, fuck it. I don't need to worry about the disabled people. I'm not disabled. I don't need to worry about the gay people. I'm not gay. I'm gonna watch you have like a gay son. Oops. I wish I were striving to make this world more acceptable for you the whole time, right? That's where you see people like Dick Cheney, right? Oops. If only I had spent the last 40 years working for a world where my daughter would be accepted. Oops. My bad? Instead of just having that one small bit of care about the other people, they just don't give a fucking shit. Tessera, absolutely. Being born in the United States of America with so much inherited wealth is such a privilege. It's not because it's a capitalistic constitutional republic. It's because the people that ended up stealing the most shit all moved here. And yeah, a few poor people also snuck in on a few boats to Ellis Island a couple hundred years ago. That's how I got born. Few poor ass fuckers snuck in. Maybe like 100 years ago. They just snuck in. Meanwhile, all the corporate gangsters from all across the world moving and moving and moving. Wealth in this country, like, just skyrocketing. And they benefited from that. And then they passed that on to their kids and then me. And I benefit from that. Of course. Throughout history, yes. If I were born in England, I would say the same thing. My point, that's not my point, Tessera. My point is, it's not, I'm a privileged because I live in a capitalist country. It's privileged because the people that were here before me stole everything, and I'm just somehow accidentally landed here. That's where it's privileged. It's not because it's capitalist. I mean, I guess it is, in a roundabout way. But that's not like it's something to be like, like, oh yes, praise capitalism. No, that's evil. It's disgusting. The idea that I'm born here and that millions and millions of people had to die and be exterminated. Cultures lost to history forever. That's disgusting. Why are you so afraid to acknowledge how disgusting that is? Does that not mean I'm grateful to be alive? Of course I'm grateful to be alive. But we gotta be real. We gotta be real about the society that we live in. We gotta be honest with ourselves. We can't live in a fantasy world. What does that mean, unable to move forward? I am moving forward every single day. What do you quantify forward as accumulating money in a bank account? Like the more dollars you have in a bank account, that's your like score in life? No, fuck that shit. I move forward every single day of my life. I make healthy eating choices almost every single day of my life. I used to be obese. I'm no longer obese. I feel good about that. I've been moving forward forever. Whenever I read a book, whenever I do one of these live streams, I'm moving forward. I'm learning more. Why do you think I'm talking to you people? Every social interaction I have, just in general, I'm moving forward. Because this is what I like doing. I'm a social creature. I want to learn everything. So yes, I am moving forward. I know, Tessera. Again, great, you played Trivial Pursuit. I'm happy for you. You won a game of Trivial Pursuit. You got it. You got the answer. Super good. Super happy for you. Right? But like, that should only make you agree with me. Like, yeah, we should stop killing other people. Unless you agree with that. Incentive? What does that mean, incentive? I live with my family. We like each other. What does that mean? What is my incentive? I don't need an incentive. What? My motivation in life is to learn more and to study. That is my motivation in life. To speak to people. To learn about society. That is my goal. My goal is not money. I do have my own home and my own things. It just so happens that other people live in this home. I have my own room with all my own things. They have their rooms with their own things, and we do our own thing. Why is that so scary to you? Why is that so horrifying to you? You don't have to feel guilty, Tessera. No one's telling you to feel guilty. This is this whole, like, stupid narrative that you fuckers have constructed. There is no guilt. Just acknowledge. Just be honest. I don't feel guilty. Do you think I'm guilty? Oh, I've got white guilt. I've got white guilt. Fucking moron. Yes, I would, Primitive Archer. But back to Tessera. No, I don't feel guilty. But I'm not going to fucking pretend that history is fake. I'm still going to fucking acknowledge what happened. Because it's how we move forward so that it does not happen again. I don't need to feel guilty for that process. I really wish that some of you could just figure it out. That it's okay to want people to be healthy. Like, we're in a global pandemic. Why do you still want people to be so sick? When people are homeless, they get sick. When people get sick, they can transmit disease. The flu will spread more easily. Why do you want that? It's weird. It's just weird to want to kill everyone around you. It's just so fucking weird. You have an accounting firm, right, Primitive Archer? Don't you care about your potential clients? The people that would maybe want an account at your firm, you don't care about them? What if one of them is walking from their Starbucks to their like limousine, and in that Starbucks the waitress had, or whatever, the barista, whatever it is, had COVID and gave it to them? Right? Because you don't, like, poor people obviously aren't going to have an account. But maybe, and then your client got COVID. You don't care about them? You don't give a fuck about them? Really? That's gross. That's gross. It's just gross. It's just gross, dude. It's just gross. When it comes to cancer-causing agents in our food, fuck it. The food you eat is giving you cancer, and you don't care about it? Forced altruism over individual freedom. There is no such thing as individual freedom. That's not an option. Tony Mario, what you are giving to me is just fake stupid. Like, are we playing in a Minecraft server? Okay, if we're playing in a Minecraft server, sure. Individual freedom. We're not playing in a fucking Minecraft server, dude. There is no individual freedom. The world has a lot of fucking people. If every person had the right to individual freedom to do whatever they want, including, because you're including, the ability to kill other people. Yeah, if I can just like start a fire. Hey, I'm not starting a fire in my house. I'm just starting a fire in some random wooded area. And then that fire leads somewhere else. They shouldn't be held accountable? What if individual freedom? That's a fantasy. It doesn't exist. Unless you're playing Minecraft. Do you want to play Minecraft? Let's play Minecraft right now. It's just fucking dumb. Forced fucking altruism. It's called living in a fucking society. Forced altruism? Is saying thank you for your service after I buy something at a general store, is saying thank you, have a good day, is that forced altruism? It's called manners. It's called living in a society. Is holding the door open for an elderly woman forced altruism? It's called having manners. It's called being a normal person. Jesus. You people are fucking crazy, man. What money? What does that mean? Forced to give up their money? Or it's called taxes. Do you not know what taxes are? You already do that. What are you agitating for? Getting rid of taxes? What? Then what? Then what happens after we get rid of taxes? Then what happens? Like, what? Like, it's such a stupid argument. Do you think anarchists aren't, like, pro-tax? Like, it depends on what the taxes are for. Like, hello? It's called living in a society. Have roads so that we can all drive to each other or walk to each other with relative ease. Instead of building random houses randomly, like, obtusely shaped with no, like, planning whatsoever. It's called living in a fucking society. Pants are the first step toward communism. Yeah. No shirt, no service? That's communism. Fucking idiots. Why should I be taxed at a higher rate? You aren't. You're taxed at the same rate that I am. For the money that we make, you're taxed at the same rate. Do you not understand how tax brackets work? On your first, probably, I make it a year, maybe, I don't know, 15K, For your first 15K, we're taxed exactly the same, buddy. But you know what? You know what's interesting? When you have $5, you don't have the ability to buy that much, do you? I mean, you could maybe buy, like, you know, a brick of cheese. You know, get some nourishment. Brick of cheese. Right? But that's not going to go that long. So are you in the... Now, let's say someone else has $500 and they're starving and they haven't eaten in days. They've got a lot more options. Right? We've got a lot more options. So, no. Making all kinds of money is not exactly the same. Money means less the more you make. Your second $50 means a lot less than the first $50 in terms of raw value. So, but these people are just dumb. They're just dumb and they don't care about anyone else. It's just raw psychopathy. Primitive Archer. I'm advocating to expand those programs. You're advocating to dismantle them. What do you mean, what about them? Social Security was a compromise from banksters and corporate goons to anarchists that were going to stage an uprising in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. Food stamps, where do you think that came from? Mass protest. To add that to the government payroll. I want to expand those programs. I want everyone. I would love everyone. UBI, unconditional, $5,000 a month, every single citizen in the United States above the age of 18. I want to expand all of those things. You want to dismantle them? That's the difference, Primitive Archer. You're upholding food stamps as like a defense of your ideology when that's not your ideology, because I'm advocating to expand them. You're voting for someone who wants to dismantle them, not keep them the same, dismantle them. That's part of the Trump administration. That's part of their agenda, clearly laid out. You're saying everyone should work at the age of 14 and work hard. What if people can't work hard? What if they're disabled? You don't give a fuck about them. You are advocating to dismantle those programs with your thought process. And that's what's so worrisome about you, is you're advocating for exactly what you think you're advocating against. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I streamed for a long time today. I don't know why. I just got like triggered halfway through the show and then I just decided to do this. So, thank you for watching this. I'm gonna go now. So it was fun. I hope that y'all think about some things. I feel like I can give some wisdom to some of y'all. Not all of y'all, obviously, but some of y'all. I think you can learn something from me. Ugh. And on that note, goodbye.
Antifa exists. Antifa exists. Eight months after his alleged meeting with the Burmese executives, so this Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese, a real beautiful company. 8 months after his alleged meeting with the Burmese, a A real beautiful company. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? To allow protesting. No. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting?
Well, it was an amazing phone call I made. 40 Wall Street actually was the second tallest building in downtown Manhattan. And it was actually, before the World Trade Center, was the tallest. And then when they built the World Trade Center, it became known as the second tallest, and now it's the tallest. And I just spoke to my people.
Good news is, for me, I'm here. The bad news for you is, I'm coming back.